Hello, my tea stirrers. I just like for all of you guys to say, whoa. I just like for all you guys just to say, whoa. What is going on? What is going on in this community? We're losing, and a lot of our people is getting sick, and everybody's still young. So before we get on to DMX and Tupac, we're gonna let some people get in here, and we're gonna, hey Dr. Mira, hey Rasta Pasta, Rasta Pasta, Rasta Black, sorry. Yes, please like the video. Hey Mika, still Mika, Dr. Mira. So we're gonna at least try to at least get two people in here. Two more people in here. We're gonna start the show because everybody in here say whoa. And it's always something. I'm telling you, it's always something with them bad boys. It's always something with them bad boys. Something is always happening. It's like all the old wave of people that were their own individual. It's like they're all going, and all we starting to see is a bunch of people that are carbon copies. They all carbon copies of each other. But we're gonna start this off with my man, Black Rob. If you liked him, and if you didn't like him, keep him in your prayers. Let's check him out.
And I'm only saying this because I already know that some of the younger generation watching may not know. Like who? Like whoa, I don't even think y'all was born yet, pun intended. But anyway, Black Rob, formerly of Bad Boys, had some of the best songs in the game, like whoa.
Like whoa, fun like they had the manpower, like whoa.
And you probably know the lyrics to this one word for word or damn near.
Hey, look, straight from the Harlem streets.
I don't play, I puts it down with the Harlem Heat. He was one of the biggest artists of that time, definitely legendary. Now, fast forward over 20 years and he needs our prayers. A little support can go a long way. It's not clear exactly what is wrong with him, but he is currently in a hospital and it's not looking too good. He did say that he don't know what the pain is and spoke on X following his passing.
What's up, man? What's going on?
This is the Black Rob. Now, this is the like whoa man. This is the like whoa. Hey shorty, womp womp. This is where, like I'm a hip hop head, and when I cover hip hop, I don't just cover it because it's just news. It's because I am hip hop. I don't just grab something and look at a title and go, well, let me put this down there. That's right. We're gonna finish. This is Black. This is the like whoa man. My gosh. Let me rewind that a little bit for you guys. Let me rewind it. This is like whoa.
Ooh, like whoa, I don't even think y'all was born yet, pun intended. But anyway, Black Rob, formerly of Bad Boys, had some of the best songs in the game, like whoa.
Like whoa, fun like they had the manpower, like whoa.
And you probably know the lyrics to this one word for word or damn near.
Hey, look, straight from the Harlem streets.
I don't play, I puts it down with the Harlem Heat. He was one of the biggest artists of that time, definitely legendary. Now, fast forward over 20 years and he needs our prayers. A little support can go a long way. It's not clear exactly what is wrong with him, but he is currently in a hospital and it's not looking too good.
God.
He did say that he don't know what the pain is and spoke on X following his passing.
What's up, man? What's going on? I don't know what the pain is. The pain is crazy, man. It's helping me out though, man. It's making me realize I got a lot to go, man. A lot to go.
Hey, Red Queen.
man.
How you feel about X?
I mean, I feel everything about X, man. X was love, man. Positive. X the big love to X, man. It's all, man. Alright.
Amen. That's right. DMX forever. Now look, this was him in late 2020. This is 2019.
What's up, man? This is Black Raw, man. Coming to y'all live, man. One love, man. I'm out of here, man. Peace.
And in 2015, you can see him flicking it up with 50. We definitely pray for his healing in these crazy times. You never know what someone is going through. And as people, we definitely need to take better care of our health.
Woo! Woo! I'm telling you. Isn't that something? Oh my God, he was out when I was a teen. He looks old. He lived a heart. I'm telling you, that industry, y'all people go chasing for that money, but that industry will do it to you. That industry will do it to you. Good morning, Eden Evolution, Red Queen, Let's Talk TV. I already said my girl Shorty Want, my Dr. Mira, my love. No one. So today we're going to talk the evil industry. Yes, it is. Like I always said, it's something special. It's something special that God give everybody something special. Let me not say that. Make it seem like two people is better than the other, or three people is better than everybody else. But he give everybody different energies. So I just want to start this off with my man X having a talk. When he first met my man Nipsey, may he rest in peace. He rested. Well, they gonna live forever. We gonna stop saying rest in peace. They gonna live forever in our hearts. But we're gonna see where he met my man Nipsey Hussle. And Nipsey Hussle was a young boy then. These are strictly interviews to show you the men. Yeah, who you telling, Shorty? What? This is to show you, these interviews to show you how we came to love these men. It wasn't just their music. It was their brains. It was their brains. It was them as a person. It just was not their music. So we're going to check out when Diddy, they got me saying Diddy. Ooh. When he met my man Nipsey Hussle. We're going to check that one out. DMX always prayed over everybody. Always, always, always. Look at the young Nipsey Hussle showing mad respect. Two kings.
We're just gonna give him the ballpark. He needs to go to the stage. We got about to lose the round.
How you get the name? Oh
yeah,
I didn't know, because sometimes I don't have anything to go with cigarette. What's your name, Yo, the first man.
Yeah, that's part right
there. Yeah,
we gotta go to the stage, bro. Yep.
I'm good. That's why you made me. Yo, BMW. I'm a warrior for the Lord. I'm a warrior for the Lord. Different soldiers got different roles. Some drive the tanks, some fly the helicopters, some fly the planes, some drive the Hummers. That's special soldier. Way of thinking, your own thought process, and come through the stars and stripes. That, you know what? Fuck how I feel right now. I know God is going to show me something at the end. I need to understand miracles only happen on the platform of tragedy. They only happen. If there was no fucking situation, then the blessing, the whatever blessing you got would have just been something that, you know, they came up like, oh shit, yo, that's what's up. But it has to be a situation that's so fucking...
That only sent you away but made you stay away from me. My child, I'm here to say, finally the glance.
The altercation is whatsoever. We pray that the best part of the show be the prayer. And if we're able to touch one person for your namesake, for your glory, then we've done something wonderful with our lives. The word says one praying will save 1,000, two praying together will save 10. We thank you for the word and the power that it holds. We thank you for the blessings that you give us daily, things that we take for granted. When's the last time somebody said, thank you, God, for that last breath of air I just took?
Amen.
Thank you, God, for that last meal I just had. But without these things, we perish. We ask that you guide our steps, that you have your will, you have your way in our lives. We didn't make us, so we don't know what to do with us. We humble ourselves before you. We praise your name and give you the glory. We praise your name and give you the glory. We praise your name and give you the glory. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Amen. Amen.
Like I said today, it might be a part 2. I don't know. But I'm showing you the things that made Tupac and DMX great. And I may throw in some Nipsey because it was something special with them. So now that we've done an X, we are going to do we're going to do an X and a Pac, an X and a Pac. Now we're going to look at a young Pac. What made these guys different from the rest? What made Pac and hello, Grand Rising? It was a bad boy yesterday. My dog got also with that man X. What? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Kenla. So we are going to show, I'm going to try to show what made these men. Like I said, I might find some Nipsey and throw them in there because them three is special. Let's check out a young Pac. Then we're going to do a D-Max, then a Pacs. These for all my true hip-hop heads. These for all the people who truly say, that's my dog. Love my Nips. But where's my dogs? So where his dogs at? Where is his dogs at? We're going to see. What made these guys so special? It had nothing, it wasn't just their music. And this is why people always compare them. This is why people compare them. You will never get these type of comments. Some people don't truly know you, appreciate you, the impact you come up and down. Expo. Oops, wrong one. I love my itches, but where's my dogs? Where's his dogs at? And don't forget, we're going to do a panel at the end. Anybody got something to say about these incredible men? All right.
The news like I watch the news. All these little kids dying and The world just bugged out, man. It's not like it was way before when, you know, as we remember it. Even probably people older than me remember it different, like more quiet and calmer. I remember like problems, but it wasn't as bad as it is now for like the younger generation. So we have to be more compassionate.
Tupac was an extraordinarily compassionate man. His various houses and places of residences from his first apartment.
Before we get into this, I just want to let you guys know Tupac and DMX now at this present moment, are the same age. Tupac would have been 50. DMX is 50. What Tupac did in his 25 years of life, which was in a span of 8 to 9 years. What my man done in a span to 8 or 9 years, can't nobody touch it. It wasn't able to be touched until my man DMX came into the picture, who took what Tupac did, make it his own, and made it his own. That's why the parallels are so similar. But what Tupac did in an 8 to 9 year span of his work in the industry, and what all the knowledge we got out of a man that died at 25. But y'all may not notice, but as of today, where they at up there with the Lord, they are now the same age, 50 years old, because Tupac, if I'm not mistaken, would have been 51, but as of today, Tupac is 50. So DMX had 25 more years on this earth than Tupac, but they both accomplished a lot with the time they have been here. So let's get back into this video. I just wanted you guys to know that.
Apartment were missions and flop houses for anybody that needed it, or somebody he saw any glimmer of hope in, you know.
The truth does care about, and he can talk, and he can sit across from you, make you smile, make you cry, make you laugh. All you can talk about is my dirty roads, my dirty stems, and how I'm leaning crooked to the side. You can't even see that I came up out of that shit. And that's exactly the analogy that it is for me. You know what I mean?
He had a real affinity, especially to children who had parents who were drug addicted or who had parents that were incarcerated. He wanted to be able to set up something that was going to help those children, but he wanted to do it quietly. He didn't want to look like he was trying to sell records.
When people say Pac is the best rapper of all time, they don't just mean he's the best rapper. They just mean what he had to say was most potent, most relevant, and that he was the better human being.
People to know is that don't support the phonies, support the real. You know what I mean? How can these people be talking about how they so real and they don't care about our communities? How can they be talking about what they, all this, you know, the hood, blah, 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 blah. They don't care about our communities. You know what I mean? Listen to the words that people say in their lyrics and tell me if that's some real, if that's real to you. You know what I mean? Listen to what they saying. Don't just bob your head to the beat, peep the game. And listen to what I'm saying, hold us accountable for it.
He outgrew the image of thug life, but he could never escape it. In the end, it consumed him, leaving only a man-made myth, a distorted reflection that only tells half the story. It was written in ink, a brand, a philosophy, both words canceling each other out, the symptom of a problem in America, long in the making.
I showed the wrong video first, but
it's like I'm seeing that as a farce. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying I'm bad. It's a farce because, like I said, I just told you some of the atrocities that this country's been committing in front of our face. You know what I'm saying? So if I was bad, it would be more bodies. If I was this bad guy, how come ain't no corpses with my name on it? You know what I'm saying? How come it's all these corpses with their names on it?
I guess that's what's frustrating and aggravating, that I can't live down this big shadow that I made to protect myself. Because it started out as just being, I need to get an alter ego to keep people away from me and to protect myself, which everybody does. You know, like when somebody breaks into your house and you know he's in the house, you wouldn't go in your real voice, excuse me, are you breaking in my house? You would go, hey, what you doing in my house? It's the same thing that I do, you know what I mean? If you're out in the wilderness and I'm just one sheep by myself, I wouldn't go, I want to sing my next song, it's called, I would go, you know, woo, the world, you know what I mean? And that's worked, you know what I mean? And not that it's like a total facade, it's me, but it's just blown up. No matter what these people say about me, my music does not glorify any image. My music is spiritual if you listen to it. It's all about emotion. It's all about life. And it's rappers might, you know, paint a perfect picture of themselves, or, you know, whatever. I tell my innermost, darkest secrets. I reveal myself in every one of my records, from Dear Mama to Shed So Many Tears. I think my mother knew that freedom wouldn't come in her lifetime, just like I know that it won't come in mine. But it's a matter of either we stay like this or somebody sacrifices, somebody lay a track so we don't stay in a 360-degree deadly circle. You know what I'm saying? Somebody has to break out and risk, you know, losing everything and being poor and getting beat down. But somebody has to do something. And we just got to be smarter and sharper, or they're going to start taking away each and every person that steps forward to do anything positive for the community. So that's why you be wondering why everybody want to live a negative lifestyle. It's safer. And by my faith in all good things come to those that stay true. You know what I'm saying? And it was happening to me for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I was noticing, I was punching the right buttons, and it was happening. So it's no problem, you know. I mean, it's a problem, but I'm not finna let them know. I'm finna go straight through, head to the sky, and if they want to give me more, I go through more. I keep fighting it, you know what I'm saying, until the last time.
Pac stood up, and it's the first thing you've heard him say in like 2 weeks of court. You know, Your Honor, and throughout this entire court case, you haven't looked me or my attorney in the eye once. It's obvious that you're not here in search of justice. So therefore, there's no point in me asking for a lighter sentence. I don't care what you do because you're not respecting us. This is not a court of law as far as I'm concerned. No justice is being served here. And you still can't look me in the eye. And so I say, do what you want to do. Give me whatever time you want because I'm not in your hands. I'm in God's hands. You can cut the tension in the courtroom with a knife. It moved the whole side of the prosecution. I didn't say it like Pac said it. The way Pac said it, everybody's eyes in the courtroom watered up. Nobody could speak for a minute.
How would you say that your life has been? What would you say about your life? How would you define it?
I would say it's been like a test on my faith. You know what I'm saying? You know how, I guess his name was Job in the Bible, who God just did all of this crazy stuff to him just to make sure his faith was straight. And that's how it was. It made me, if I did.
And you guys notice they both always spoke upon God. They never wavered from their beliefs. Sorry, guys.
Didn't have all of this stuff, I don't think that my feet would have been so firm to where I could stand up for anything, you know, and I would be less ready to deal with what's out there.
What is it we all fear? Reflections in the mirror. We can't escape fate. The mask in the...
You know what I'm saying? We need more women, mothers, fathers. We need more of that. We don't need any more entertainers.
Where do you see yourself in 20 years from now?
If God give me breath for 20 more years, I see myself changing the world. Because my thought patterns are so opposite of what's the norm.
Really?
So I would have to change the world, or I have to be changed by the world.
If you're not dark inside and you come to this world, it'll turn you dark. You know what I'm saying? And so if you really have sunshine in you, it's not good to play in the dark. It's just...
If you got sunshine in you, it's not really good to play in the dark. Woo!
You'll die young. Don't support the fun.
Yes, exactly, Dr. Mirror. Now we're gonna keep this going. We're gonna keep this going. We're gonna keep this going because we got a lot to go through. So we're gonna keep this going because we're gonna celebrate these real men. We're gonna celebrate it. We're gonna celebrate them.
What I'm gonna speak on is the thing that's on my mind the most. You know what I'm saying? The thing that we all gotta deal with every day, but don't really know. The industry. The industry. Man, it's not the same. Doesn't have to do with talent. It's about playing the game. The industry. Real niggas is dying to get in. The industry. Just to find they don't fit in. The industry ain't what it used to be. The industry's trying to control the way you MC. They want you to dress like this and talk like that. But I'm going to dress like this and talk with the bat. The industry got your word meaning nothing. The industry, fuck what you heard because he's bluffing. The industry, money, bitches, hate, for that day to try to take a fucking thing off my plate. The industry like, wait! But in the streets we like, get 'em. 17 up in that thing, catch him sleeping and hit him. The industry, if you ain't got a strong mind, the industry will break you down, it's a matter of time. The industry, vultures with nothing to feast on. See me, I'm getting my beast on. The industry, stay in the dirt, play in the dirt, test the wrong one in the industry and you will get hurt. I'm not an industry artist, I'm an artist in the industry. So I do what the fuck I want because nobody can finish me. The industry, wanted, dead or alive, new artists to sell their souls in the way they survive. The industry don't give a fuck about you, but the industry couldn't make a dime without you. The industry, I'm sick of this industry shit. The industry playing them like a industry bitch. They tried to finish me quick, but I am long, so I stand strong. Fuck a beat. Listen to the words of the damn song. I only know how to speak the truth. You know what I'm saying? So I got a little short joint I'm gonna hit you with. You know what I'm saying? And it basically reflects on my relationship with the industry. This is what it is. Often my words fall on deaf ears. Motherfuckers be listening but don't hear. Talking to a nigga, he be sitting right here. I be like, where you going? Nigga be like, yeah. Thank you. When he died, and every time they hear that song, it reminds them, it's like, yo, I touch people. All that, you know, pull your titties out, shake your ass, and drive a car with big rims, that's some ignorant yo.
Now, you got issues with the industry. What's going down with the industry, dog?
The industry is full of a bunch of dick-sucking, dick-riding, bending over the desk ass niggas, straight up like that. Whoever don't like it, bring it, nigga. Bring it. I don't give a fuck. Bring it. Bring it. You're not gonna see me at every party, every industry party, all the clubs. I go somewhere quiet, man, shoot pool with me and my mans and them, you know what I'm saying? That's the type of shit I do, you know what I'm saying? Fuck my remote control cars, jump on the four-wheelers, you know what I mean? I ain't with all that in the club shit, throwing it up and all that bullshit. I ain't got time for that shit, man. You know what I mean? Because then you find yourself doing the same shit every fucking day. What are you, a fucking alcoholic? You know what I mean? Come on, man. Give it a fucking break, man. Live a little, you know what I mean? I play with my kids, man. I play with my toys, I play with my dogs, man. You know what I'm saying? We go somewhere, shoot pool. We do what the fuck we do.
Yeah, we're gonna get back to this. Now we're going to check out the young Pac again. We're going to show you how they are predominantly the same. This is another young Pac. Let's check them out. We're going to show our brothers some love today. They wasn't really in conflict with themselves. Hey, Tony Touch. They wasn't really in conflict with themselves. They just knew the good and bad inside of each other, you know, which we all do. And this is a young Pac. It's a young Pac. This is why I say you can't touch these two. It wasn't just about their music. So they're going to make sure no more Pacs and DMX are here.
I'm gonna be talking like real shop. I'm gonna be talking from my heart. Ain't nothing written down. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. So y'all got to feel me. I'm gonna be talking in slang, so you know some of y'all might get lost. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna just do what I got to do. And then check this out. When I say I'm losing it, I mean I'm losing. I mean that for real. This ain't no free speech. This shit ain't like just to make it sound good. So I let them know. This ain't to make it so, ooh, he felt that. I'm losing it. You feel me? I know y'all can pick up the papers and see that man got problems. And I do, but we all got problems. And mine is by my motherfucking self. You know what I'm saying? He did tell y'all about my mama and the Panthers and all that. But let me tell you where I ended up, y'all. Let me tell you where I ended up. My mama was a crack addict. I ended up in Baltimore on welfare with no lights on in high school. So we got to really watch this struggle shit. If we gonna struggle, we gotta struggle every motherfucking day till this shit is over. Let them know, bro. You know? Fuck that. All that shit that went on in the 60s ain't finna happen in this motherfucker. I'll be dropping some of you motherfuckers who need some babies beyond this shit. Trust me when I tell you that shit. Cause God damn it, I'm losing. And the only reason I'm losing is because I never had a daddy. I never had nobody to sit me down and tell me this. You know what I'm saying? They told me, but I didn't believe it because they left my mama cracked. I'm telling y'all the truth, as much as you heard me, cracked out, homeless, no life in Baltimore. And my mama put motherfucking work in. Do you hear me? My mama was a gun packing. What I'm talking about for you, motherfucker, excuse me. But my mama put in work. You know, to be laying up in a room cracked out, I got disdain for a lot of motherfuckers. You feel me? And that's why I'm telling y'all, I got to be serious. If we don't struggle, the struggle got to come from our heart. It can't come because we looking to it from a king back then. It got to come because I'm looking at you and you look goddamn and good to me and you my sister. And I ain't gonna let none of these crackers take you down. You feel me? It got to come like that. It got to come from my heart. It's like that. It's like that. It's hard out here. Like they say we got war. And in war, everything is good. It's all good. You feel me? And when I say thug life, I mean that shit. Because these white folks see us as thugs. I don't care what y'all think. I don't care if you think you a lawyer, if you a man, if you an African American, if you whatever the fuck you think you are. We thugs and niggas to these motherfuckers. You know? And until we own some shit, I'ma call it like it is. How you gonna be a man and we starve? You know? And we you can walk about 5 different houses ain't a man in either one of them motherfuckers. How we gonna be a man? How we gonna be African American? We out here dying. We thugs and we niggas until we set this straight, this shit right. We gonna stay thugs. You know? And that's real, man. It's like a motherfucker, I have nightmares. I mean this shit. I'm dead serious. And whoever I heard, I apologize. But I have nightmares, bro. I swear to God. Shit changed me. I used to be a cool mother. I used to be cool. I used to be happy. I used to talk good. I used to talk without cursing. I used to walk, you know. But goddamn, they done took Latasha. They done took Yusef. They taking out niggas younger than me, man. And we ain't doing shit. Nobody hurting died 17 years fucking old. When we 17, you know what we doing? Killing each other. You know that shit kills me, man. Little Natasha got a bullet on motherfucking back and ain't there one of y'all do a motherfucking thing. What time is it, man? Fucking losing down here. This shit grieves me. Only reason I came is so I could curse at y'all and get y'all in the right motherfucking track. You dying. We are dying. That's real. We ain't got time for nothing except war. And I don't care how you got to be at war, you need to put yourself in that mind state so we can be there. If I got to thug to be at war, I'm going to be thugging. If you got to be a Muslim to be at war, be a Muslim, but be at motherfucking war, and let's go fucking shoulder to shoulder start doing something. We can't do with so much marching, y'all. And I know y'all think it's right, but we can't. They not think we've been marching for damn near 100 years. We are marching on the anniversary of when we marched 25 years ago. I'm 22 years fucking old. How am I telling y'all this shit? How is it getting to be like this? And they wonder why I run around calling myself a thug and a thug for life. Because we by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? I got my ass beat by 2 white police officers, man, and it shook my whole world. I was a rapper. I had just did juice. Even though I was very progressive, my family been paying. I was really about just getting out here making some money. I had enough of poverty. I thought I made it. I thought I made it. I swear to God, I thought I made it. I felt good about myself. I felt good like I did something, like I was a part of this society. You know? And I always wanted to think for myself. And I said, okay, I'm here. I didn't get a move. I want to scream. I'm rapping. I'm trying. I got money in my pocket. I got bank account. I'm going to the bank. You know, I swear to God, on my mom, 2 police officers stopped me. What's your name? Tupac Shakur. Go ahead. They started laughing. What kind of name is that? Shit. What's your name? John. What fucking kind of name is that?
Tell him, Pop! Tell him, Pop! Tell him, Pop!
I moved to Los Angeles. You know, and the reason I moved to Los Angeles, because I want to be where the niggas is kicking up dust at. You know? I don't want to be where these motherfuckers that's building houses and think we got a part of this society. I want to be where niggas is kicking up dust at. So what if they got gangs, goddammit? They got gangs, but they kicking up dust. What are we doing? Go ahead, Pop. What are we doing? I know y'all tripping on because it's like, but on the real, all bullshit aside, on the real though, it's like, we really ain't got no choice, you know? Even though I know how you feel, I feel the same way. That's why I'm so angry. That's why I curse so much, you know? Because I feel like it ain't right. It ain't right that I'm 22 and this is the life I gotta live, you know? It ain't right that I gotta be, I'm like a fucking dad, you know? I wake up, man, sweaty, man, talking on the top. What the fuck is going on? Tell me why he beat my ass, why police just beat the shit out of me. I woke up unconscious, man. My face all cut up for Jay motherfucking walking. That shit just shook me. I'll never be right again, I'm losing it. You feel me? And I'm not even rapping, I'm not even a cook. You know, a so-called cook. I'm not even right. What the hell's going on? I don't have no record, no nothing. As soon as I started rapping, this what made me see me at war. As soon as I started rapping, as soon as I start talking that shit about they got me trapped, sold the story, I don't give a fuck. It's like I got comments coming from everywhere. You know, I got cases coming from everywhere, man. People that's supposed to be my king, queen. She just told the police I beat her up. I didn't even touch her. You feel me? This what I'm doing. I'm losing it. This what I'm telling y'all. I'm losing it. It ain't all cool. So when you see me in the paper, you're going, damn, man, what's wrong with him? You know, hey, it's hard out there. It's hard out there, and it's even harder for a nigga by himself. When I go home by my motherfucking self. When I close the door, it's by my motherfucking self. You feel me? It's time for some soldier shit. You know, from the females and from the males. That's real. And it's time for the women. I'm not blaming on you, I'm not putting you in your corner, but you have so much you don't know. You have so much power over niggas. You run shit, but you just don't know. And it's a game. I know I'm a man, I'm gonna hit y'all to the game. When a nigga sees you do anything for him, he's gonna run you. But if you keep your principles, if you stay your ground, you know what you want out of that nigga, you push that or leave that.
Exactly. Push that or leave that. Preach it, Pop. Preach it, Pop. Tell the story. Yes.
That's how we gotta handle that. You know, we gotta handle that shit. We got to be more like down for each other. You know, I know we're not supposed to use the term gangster bitch, but damn. We got to be down for each other, you know? We got to be soldiers, man. They gonna be writing about us in 20 years, you know? It's that time, y'all. It's that time. It's the 90s. Do you know what the 90s 90s is upside down to fucking 60s. You know what I'm saying? We gonna turn this shit upside down all over again. And we the ones that got the power to do it. Did you see what happened on April 29th? Y'all ain't see that shit on the news? This shit, they probably was, hey, this fucking shit up in LA. I was there. I was filming a movie getting paid G's, but that night, I was there. I was in the streets with my folks. Niggas had I don't care what they say about gangbangs in LA. Niggas had their motherfucking dogs up, and it was all good. Whatever it say, I'm telling you, man, this is the sight I'm keeping this picture I'm keeping my mind till it happen again. Because I've seen it for myself, and I know it can happen. And all my life, I never thought it could happen. But I've seen it for myself. I was there. And you know what made it happen? War, a common enemy. That's right. We was fighting a common enemy, so it was like, what's up? And that's what we need now. As long as we sit here and study for the common, we studying the fight. Man! Oh, we are studying to fight. Getting ready to fight. And we're doing all our fighting. Nothing's wrong with going to college, so I say I'm proud of us, but we're doing all our fighting and debates. We debate this shit. We debate for our freedom. We ain't gonna get it in no legislation. We ain't finna get it through marching. We ain't even finna get it through one uprising. We're not finna get it through one April 29th. We finna get it every day, you guys, all of us, everywhere, see it as a necessity that we struggle to fight back. We have that as a right. That is our right when we were born. God put it into your heart to self-defeat your motherfucking self. Fuck the next nigga. You know, if that nigga want to be a gangbanger, he don't want to follow your way, fuck that nigga. Trust me, he's out of there. He's out of there. But you have obligations to your folks, to the niggas that fell before you, to handle your motherfucking business, no matter what it means. All of it ain't gonna be free, all of it ain't gonna be out there with mini 14. Some of that shit gonna be staying your ass home with the kids. Put some knowledge in your kids' head. You know what I'm saying? All the niggas and all the females. Just because she a female don't mean she got to stay home with the babies. That's bullshit. Because I would much rather have some of these females out there with me in war than some of these niggas. It's a whole bunch of punks. You know, that whole city over we African Americans, everything is equal shit, and this NAACP shit, I'm gonna speak on that shit. Because I was reading the paper, I saw NAACP at a celebration for the Emancipation Proclamation. That's right. Okay, so, from what I just said, how is the NAACP still a business? Oh, ain't nobody. How's the NAACP still in business? How's these motherfuckers still in business? Yeah, that's cool too. That's cool too. Yeah, we let them do that shit. We let them represent us. How motherfuckers gonna stand there and talk about equal advance for the colored folks? Go ahead. What the fuck is that? That's right. Go ahead. And these be grown black folks. They be our color. Representing us to these white folks. And we be letting them do it. Because we proud. Because they got all suits, they got offices and shit. And everything happen, they call the NAACP. We let them do that shit, representing us. You know, they make us look bad. We really are too, I'm not trying to take up for the thugs and the gangsters and shit, but now I'm coming from a different school. I'm coming from the Panthers, and that's what they did. They went to the street element, and that's what they mobilized the soldiers. You know, that's what my mama did. That's my job. I'm going to stay in the streets and get my thug niggas who was down for me in the streets, because I'm going to tell you, when my mama started cracking and I was by myself, this brother right here, Untitled, was the only person in this movement anywhere that took care of me. Okay? So it ain't no motherfucking struggle if you don't take care of your baby. Not just yours, but the other soldiers, you know? What about that? What about all these soldiers sitting in jail? Where their kids at? Don't none of you motherfuckers give a fuck about them. Ready to carry a flag for where they shirt, but you ain't taking care of their motherfucking kids or their families. That's hypocritical. That ain't right. That's right. That shit ain't right, man. We got too many kids out here with nobody to put nothing in their head. Then you motherfuckers get mad when you see them again up in the courtroom.
Yeah.
You know? So
yeah.
Nobody rape her. Nigga, you left her by herself.
Yeah. Hello.
Left her by his motherfucking self.
Mm-hmm.
He learned how to be a G from the crackers, and that's what he learned. He learned how they want him to be. That's right. Nobody taught me shit. And my mama was a parent, you know? My mama would tell me, but she was too involved in it to sit down and really explain shit to me. You know? So it's a double tragedy because I'm like damn near forced to go through some of the shit that some of these soldiers went through, but because they didn't tell the new generation, they didn't arm us, I gotta go through this shit all over again. You know, I'm still getting my ass kicked by police because the niggas back in the 60s didn't murder every single one of them motherfuckers. You know? They wanna be down with the police department. How can I see, how the fuck should a nigga put on a police uniform in 1993? Fuck that. Fuck that. When the shit come off, if you still got that motherfucker on, your ass is out. And if you got on the armed forces uniform, your ass is out. And if you in the guard, your ass is out. Because niggas is armed in 1993. The gang elements are armed. And they all back. As much as you want to think they dumb or whatever, they on their toes this motherfucking year. They on their toes and they ready to move. What are you ready to do? How you gonna handle it? Huh? When them niggas get out there with guns, what y'all gonna be doing? Watching that shit on TV? Marching? Singing? Selling raffle tickets and shit with the shirts? What y'all gonna be doing? I just want to know, because I know what the fuck I'm gonna be doing, but it would help me to know what my people is going to be doing when I'm out there. Because my mama tells me all the time, boy, you think you're going to save the world. Don't you know they going to kill your black ass? These people going to bother you.
Boy, was his mama right? Was his mama right or wrong? His mama was right because she lived through it. His mama was right. She said, boy, they're going to kill you. His mother foreseen this because she know what she implanted in her seed. Even though she didn't teach them the game, he watched the game from his mother. This is why you can't compare DMX and Tupac to nobody. And then we're going to get back into DMX. We're going to do it today.
And that's that. We're gonna get you back there. So all I want to say in closing is that we got to be united under whatever. Don't let shit hold us apart. I don't care if you're from Cali, New York, or whatever, if you're a blood, or a crip, or a thug, or a school student, or a scholar, or whatever. Don't let shit hold us back no more. We got to unite by any means necessary, and we got to fight.
Woo! We got some more to go, guys. We got some more to go. That's right. He spoke some gems, baby. We're going to keep this going. I'm not going to stop. If I didn't say hello to you, I'm not saying hello to you while the program is playing. But I like to say hello to who came in. L Bigfoot and somebody else came in. Meek 13. How you doing? Let's keep this going. It's not in any chronological order. It's not in any order. I'm just showing you why we love them. Why do we love them? Why did we love these two people? Hey, Kiana, how you doing?
Thank you for doing this, by the way.
Thank you for, giving me the opportunity to be heard, in a positive light.
Yeah.
Or just in a fair light.
And if I inadvertently talk about your situation,
I got you.
You let me know.
I got you. All right, I first came to Arizona, man, and I remember one day coming from the studio at 6 o'clock in the morning and pulling over on the highway. We like 4 cars, just to watch the sunrise. And it was at that point that I fell in love with Arizona. I said, you know what, this has to be God's country. Because I'd never seen anything as beautiful as that sunrise. Then I met the devil in God's country. And it's not so much who, it's what, what happens and the things that the devil does. It's not so much a person, even though he acts through people. You can't call one person the devil.
Joe Arpaio?
You can't call any one person the devil. You can't do that because no one person has enough power to be the devil. And it's through all these hardships that I realized that, you know what? This is God's country because I met the devil here.
Because if I hadn't met the devil here, I wouldn't realize I was strong enough to overcome the obstacles that the devil would place in my path. And it's by overcoming these obstacles that I realize that this is God's country. Because he helped me get over these obstacles. He helped me get over these hurdles.
Okay, so but when you're done here, when
Yeah.
you're out of here,
I'm not looking back.
you're not coming back?
No, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back for a show. I'm not coming back for a visit. I'm not even driving through the states. If I'm in a plane and they're gonna fly over it, I'm gonna go around, okay?
But you love this place.
I love the scenery. I love the scenery about it, and I love the freedom that it initially gave a
Hey,
person.
Missy.
Remember I said, when I first came here, the last exit on the 101 was Pima and Princess. Yeah, that was the last exit, you know? And, man, we had fun. We had the four-wheelers, you know. We just rode the trails. Pretty much the same thing I did when I bought a house out here, but until, you know, things, I don't know.
Do you, when you think back on this whole thing,
Yeah.
what went wrong in Arizona? How did you end up getting in so much trouble here? Was there too much temptation here, or were
I actually
law
didn't get
enforcement
in.
was after you?
No, I didn't get in. I actually didn't get in any trouble. I was never arrested at the scene of any crime, or you know, the police came and arrested me for something. You know, it was always let's get an arrest warrant for this guy. You know.
You think Arpaio was after you?
I'll let the public answer that one. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say, because I don't know. It might look like it, but I don't know if that was the case. So I'm not going to say that that's what it was. You know, but we're all God's children, and I do pray for that man. You know, as I pray for everyone else. You know, whether I know you or not, I pray for my friends, family, loved ones, and as well as my enemies every night. You know, because we're all God's children. We're all God's children, and we all deserve the same grace.
In any way, has this time in here a lot of time to think? Has
Yes.
that changed X?
Yes, it has. It has. It has. It has gotten me closer to my true calling on life, closer to realizing, to actualizing my true calling on life, which is to be a pastor. You know, so I'm like, you know, I'm in my Bible every day. You know, they got me on 23-hour lock-in. Why, I don't know.
Is that for your own protection?
That's what they say, but it's really just to be a pain in the ass. You know, I mean, they just put me in general population a week ago. I didn't get in so much as a write-up. You know, I haven't had one disciplinary report since I've been here. Yet, they moved me back.
So what are you going to do, X, when you're out of here finally? What's the game plan?
Well, I'm going to start a TV show while I'm in here. Pain and Perseverance. You know, and it's about how I can reach people that the average person can't reach because I'm grounded. I'm staying as grounded as I am. And I'm going to give my first sermon in the church. That's going to be like incredible for me, and I hope it'll be incredible for the congregation of that church. You know, I hope I'm able to reach somebody or just touch somebody, you know what I'm saying, and bring them closer to the Lord.
Are you going to still make music?
Yes. I actually have completed the gospel album. Yeah. You know, on every one of my albums, there's been a gospel song and a prayer. And, you know, of course, with the image, they never, you know, made those songs into singles except my 6th album, which was Lord, and they did Lord Give Me a Sign as a single. And,
Are you going to, do you turn your back on what you wrote earlier in your career?
No, I do not. No, because,
do you have kids?
Yes, I have 8 kids.
How old are they?
The oldest one is 16. The youngest one is 3 months.
How do you feel about them listening to some of the things you've written?
I encourage them to listen, but I also encourage them to not, they know what not to say. You know, you can't hide something from a child because that only gets them more curious about it. You know, what you do is you say, all right, this is what it is and this ain't for you. You know?
Do you think it's a negative message?
No, it's a real message. And real is sometimes negative as well as positive. But it's real. And it needs to be. It needs to be, yes. It needs to be real. You can't hide things because they're going to find out. And when they find out, like, oh, this must be good because my father hid it from me all this time. He must have wanted it for himself. No, I'm going to tell you what it is. And I tell you, you touch it, I'll break your arm. You know? Or if you get curious, come talk to me about it, because I've already been through it. I haven't been through what I've been through for nothing, you know? I've been through what I've been through to stop you from going through it, to be able to tell you about it, so that way you won't have to experiment to know what it's about, you know?
So you're saying your music, in a sense, some of it's a warning.
Yes. Yes.
Tell me, I think people are curious how a guy, you've sold how many records?
28 million.
And made millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
How do you end up in here?
I think everyone who's watching knows how I ended up in here.
I don't know if they do.
I'm pretty sure they do. Anytime you get it, I'm pretty sure they do. You know, there's how do I end up in here? You know what? I'm going to look at it in a positive light and say that I came here to meet somebody. Don't know who it was, but I'll know him when I see him, and I came here to give him a message. And that message is Jesus loves him. You know what I'm saying? I came here to give him the word. That's why I'm here. Regardless of what it looks like, you know, regardless of what people think, that's why I'm here. I came here to meet somebody and tell them about the glory of God.
Tell me if I'm wrong. In the rap world, if you do time in jail or prison, or you've been shot, that's a badge of courage, right? That gives you street cred.
Not really. I mean, I guess in any world, you know, it has people like, ooh, you made it. You know, that's like surviving something that a lot of people didn't survive. So I guess in that aspect, but that's not so much the rap world, it's in any world, you know?
So does this time in jail here, does it help your standing with your fans? Or?
No, it's actually, man, it's wasting time. You know, it's wasting time. There's so many things I could be doing. But then again, I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Just a little bit of time. And it's not going to be long. It's not going to be long. It'll be over soon. And before you know it, I'll be back doing what I'm supposed to be doing, you know? The gospel according to X. You know, music, movies, speaking to people, you know.
Have you talked to guys in here who don't have the opportunities that you've had and will have when you get out? There are guys in here who really don't have a lot going on. I mean, they've got a tough road ahead when they get out of here. They're not going to have movies, and they're not going to have TV shows. They're not going to sell records.
Have I talked to them about what?
Have you tried to help them?
I give positive advice. I try to get them to look into themselves to see what they're good at, because we all have a talent. So I try to get them to look into themselves, and I try to explain to them, you don't have to do that, because there's no such thing as an old drug dealer. You know, there's no old players. You know, there's no old gangsters. You know, so I give them something to think about. You know, there's so many other things that you could do, but you know, people do what they want to do, and I'm not their father, so I just tell them, you know, the best thing I can tell them at that particular time, and hope they get into it, you know. But I always tell them that Jesus loves them.
But my controversy probably. And it's not my fault. I'm trying to find my way. I got a big mouth. Can't help it. I talk from my heart. I'm real. You know what I'm saying? Whatever comes, comes. But my controversy probably. And it's not my fault. I'm trying to find my way in the world. You know, I'm trying to be somebody instead of just make money off everybody. You know what I'm saying? And so I go down paths that haven't been traveled before, and I usually mess up. But I learn, you know what I'm saying? I come back stronger. You know, I'm not talking ignorant, you know what I'm saying? So I obviously put thought into what I do. So I think my mouth, my controversy. I have not been out of the papers since I joined Digital Underground. I've been in all, you know what I'm saying? It's never, my name has not been not uttered, you know what I'm saying? And that's good for me because I don't want to be forgotten. And if I'm forgotten, then that means I'm comfortable. And that means I think everything is okay.
Rifkin has told police he's a serial.
If I know that in this hotel room, and we shouldn't be angry, and my raps that I'm rapping to my community shouldn't be filled with rage. You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't be filled with the same atrocities that they gave to me. In the media, they don't talk about it. So in my raps, I have to talk about it. And it just seems foreign because there's no one else talking about it.
Right. Well, playing devil's advocate, somebody might say, well, what does Tupac have? He's a movie star. He's got, you know, hit records. What does he have to complain about?
And I'm going to tell you. It's like being the last person alive. You know what I'm saying? After 3 days, you can't do anything. What can I do? Where can I go? There's no black neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, with black people who have the same amount of money as me. You know what I'm saying? There's richer and there's poorer. There's no just, you know, did a movie, got a little bit of money, living okay, black neighborhood. I have to be in a white neighborhood, so I don't fit in. That's hell. It's hell when you can't be around your peers. All my life I grew up around black people, poor people, but I can't live around poor people now because they'll rob me. And why would they rob me? Because they're starving, because there's no money here. But they're telling me, now that I made a little money, I have to move here. So it's not like no one's ever trying to deal with this section. They're just moving away from it. And we're going to have more stars coming from together, but they're gonna all move this way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all the society is doing is leeching off the ghetto.
Yep.
They use the ghetto for their pain, for their sorrow, for their culture, for their music, for their happiness, for their movies, to talk about boys in the hood. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be another I don't want to be 50 years old at a BET We Shall Overcome Achievement Awards. You know what I'm saying? Not me. You know, I want when they see me, they know that every day when I'm breathing, it's for us to go farther. You know, every time I speak, I want the truth to come out. You know what I'm saying? Every time I speak, I want to shiver. You know, I don't want them to be like, they know what I'm going to say because it's polite. They know what I'm going to say. And even if I get in trouble, you know what I'm saying? Ain't that what we're supposed to do? I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
Yep.
We might not be the ones,
yep.
But let's not be selfish, and because we're not going to change the world, let's not talk about how we should change it. I don't know how to change it, but I know if I keep talking about how dirty it is out here, somebody's going to clean it up. I was having concerts, they were sold out, white boys, Mexicans, blacks, and they would do whatever I said. I could tell all those people in the audience to turn around in a circle, and they would do it. They're being reformed. But all of these came one after the other. Do you understand? Right. It takes logic.
Well, what about, that's another interesting part of your past. Have you ever been incarcerated before?
Have I ever been incarcerated? No, not for longer than a day. Longer enough for somebody to take me. You know, the police can arrest anybody they want, put them in jail. But if you stay there, you know what I'm saying? I haven't stayed anywhere. I've been arrested a lot, put in the cell, and they come and get me when I call my lawyer. You know what I'm saying? But I'm an innocent type of guy.
Well, I wanted to bring up, obviously tomorrow is a big day. You're being sentenced tomorrow. Yeah. And, we're sitting here in 24 hours, you'll know what the situation's going to be. Are you thinking about the prospect of going to jail?
First I was like, I'm not going to jail. I was like, if they try to come get me for something I didn't do, I'm gonna open fire. You know what I'm saying? But I can't do that because it's not just me anymore. You know what I'm saying? That's what they expect. If I have to, if God sees it fit for me to spend time in a cell, if he wants my brain to be inside of a cage, if he's brought me so far from hell to put me here, and now he wants me to go to jail, I'll go. You know what I'm saying? If that's where I'm meant to be. But I don't think so. I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? I don't really believe in my heart that I belong in jail. I don't believe I did anything to warrant me going to jail.
Okay. What do you think, if you do go to jail, is to be expected because you are a known personality?
I'm going to ask to be put in solitary confinement, and I'm going to do push-ups and read books and come out weed-free, smoke-free, and with a degree or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I won't let it stop me, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to jail to just parlay. If I went to jail, best believe it's not like I'm gonna have a problem in jail. I got love there, you know what I'm saying? I got love from thugs and the street dudes. And I can go to jail and probably organize a riot, you know what I'm saying? But that's not what I wanna do. If I have to go to jail, I don't even wanna be living. I wanna just cease to exist for however long they have me there. And then when I come out, I'll be reborn, you know what I'm saying? I'll be taking less problems. And that my mind will be sharper and the venom will be more potent. You know what I'm saying? So they shouldn't send me there. They should really try to, you know, it's like you don't throw more gasoline on the fire to put it out.
Mm-hmm. What about, I mean, this is one step and there's some other, you know, cases that are going to be coming up. What has changed for you? And you mentioned the last 2 years is when everything started to happen one after the other. What changed for you in these 2 years? How is your life now different than it was before?
Like I said, you know, it was no spot for Tupac. It's not like there was somebody like me before and I moved into the spot so I can ask him how he did it. You know what I'm saying? There was no spot here. Nobody wanted to be, you know, the person that thugs and the street people could rally around. Nobody wanted to be that. So when I was that, I couldn't handle it. You know what I'm saying? I could handle it, but not right away. Of course, I had problems. I was making mistakes that anybody would make when you have 14,000 people ready to do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? When you have all over the country people waiting to hear what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? This thug life code, we have a code putting order to the violence on the streets. And when they all listening to you, I got people in the penitentiary, you know what I'm saying, big time OG criminals who are calling me, telling me they want me to lead their movement. I mean, I'm gonna have a problem, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have a small identity crisis here, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I was from a single father, you know what I mean? A single mother with no father, no male figure. Now I got every man in America who wants to take an order from me, you know what I'm saying? Who wants to know what I want to do, or, you know, what's my plan for young black males. And that makes me scared, but that makes me want to rise to the occasion. You know what I'm saying? What makes me want to give my whole life to him. And I will give my whole life to this plan that I have for thug life.
And you showing up
when you said a code, I don't know exactly, what do you mean by a code?
I organized the OGs in the East Coast and the West Coast and the penitentiaries to come up with a set of codes of ethics for criminals, you know? Like, we're going to be against drive-bys, kidnappings, attacks on people that are not involved with the street gang, with the drug trade or the illegal business at all. You know, all that kidnapping and shooting drive-bys out the car, we against that. And people who perpetrate that, they have to deal with the consequences when they go to jail, because that's who's...
Now, do you guys hear the things that he wanted to happen? You know, would these young artists be in the same predicament that they are in? And I'm not talking about money. If we was to be more organized, stop these shootings, and try to implement some of the things that Tupac was saying. See, he was saying too much positive stuff, too much positive things. He's saying here, he's saying too much things that make sense. He's saying too much things that can save our younger youth. See, when we speak upon OGs, they took out our OGs. Now look at what we have. Everybody got a gun in their video. They got money in their video, but nobody is speaking any sense for the they are not about the people. So we're going to finish with Pac and we're going to go right back into DMX.
Who's going to enforce this code and the thug life that's on the street. It's like we cleaning up the dirt. I can't change what the dirt that's here, but I can put all this dirt in one corner. You know what I'm saying? Somehow have some order here. And for that, they need to give me a little leg room. You know what I'm saying? Let me do what I want to do, because nobody else is going to do it. Nobody else wants to do it. But I'm not scared to walk in the middle of Watts, Compton, Chicago, wherever, and sit down with whoever's the OG and say this is what we need to do. I didn't want to change. I love that, you know, even though I was with Janet Jackson, big movies and all that, I'll be up at the dirtiest house party in the hood. And people could not believe it. And I used to thrive off that. Being up in the party and somebody turn around and go, oh my God, that's too much. And everybody going crazy because I'm up in the dirty party, no security, lights out, drinking, hella drunk, you know, drunk with everybody else. But that's what kept my sanity. That's what kept me right, and that's what kept me going. My fans know that I'm real. My fans go to jail just like me. They understand me. Half my fans are white. The white fans, they listen just as much as the black fans. The ones that have approached me, I've been genuine fans. These are the people that are gonna have jobs in the future and are gonna hire my family. But many of my fans don't have ID. Some have jobs, some don't. Some are on welfare, you know what I'm saying? Some are not. Some are rich and some are poor, but they all share that hopeless feeling. Thug life hit me like the Holy Ghost. It cuts both ways. To me, it's like, when I say I live the thug life, baby, I'm hopeless. One person might hear that and just like the way it sounds, you know what I'm saying? But I'm doing it for the kid that really lives a thug life and feels like it's hopeless.
Yeah,
so when I say hopeless, and when I say when I say it like that, it's like I reach him. You understand? And even if when I reach him, it makes it look glorious to the guy that doesn't live that life, I mean, I can't help it, it's a fad, you know. He'll drop the thug life soon enough. But for the person that I was trying to reach, he'll pick it up and I'll be able to talk to him again. I think I'm being responsible, but it's hard. Once you start worrying about what you're saying, I get writer's block. Kind of like, I can't say that, that's too harsh, can't say this. Now I have to just block it out and trust my heart that I'm doing the right thing. When did I ever say I was a gangster rapper? You know what I'm saying? I'm a thug. Saying why America doesn't understand thug life. America is thug life. What makes me saying I don't give a fuck different than Patrick Henry saying give me liberty or give me death? What makes my freedom less worth fighting for than Bosnians or whoever they want to fight for this year?
Before Thug Life, when you were with Digital, working as a roadie and as a dancer, was that real? When I mean, I just read that you used to like do dance, you know, the dances with the plastic.
Dance with the naked doll. That was me. That's what I mean by I'm real. I'm truly hardcore because I needed the money and I had to work. So if he told me that for me to get paid, I had to go out there in bikini briefs and hop on top of this doll, and that's how I got to get paid. And I was homeless at the time. That's what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? But what I did was not let him pimp me. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I just did that because that was my order. As soon as I got the chance to say what was on my mind, I said what was on my mind. And we have a platinum record now. You know what I'm saying? So I went from dancing naked with the dolls being unknown to now having a platinum record. You know what I'm saying? And now I don't have to never touch another naked doll. I'll never have to dance, jiggle, nothing. I can hire dancers. You know what I'm saying? I got 3 people dancing. I can have people dancing in the audience. You know what I'm saying? Well, you have to work from one point to go to another point. So I admire the work ethic. I think that it should be reinforced throughout our neighborhoods, that everybody should work hard. Practice makes perfect. You have to be diligent about what you want. You have to apply yourself. You have to motivate yourself. And you have to do it for self, by yourself. And then you can do things for other people. But that's what I had to do. I had to do for self.
Do you feel in any way by having a 40, having a gun and a blunt, if that's glorifying the use of that to children?
It might. I thought about that, you know. I thought about how much that, you know, the 40s and all of that. And I was kind of against it before, but whatever I wrote was honest. It might not have been positive, you know what I'm saying? It might not have been politically correct, but I reached somebody, you know what I'm saying? That they relating to me. They relate to the brutal honesty in the rap. There's no Jesse Jacksons around, you know what I'm saying? Those people weren't around. All those people that pop up and say, we need to check what we're saying in the rapping and TV, those people are not around. It's Frank Sinatra, a gangster singer, you know what I'm saying? There's Steven Seagal, a gangster actor. I rap about the oppressed taking back their place. My lyrics and my verses are about struggling and overcoming. I mean, women know that there are bitches out there. I don't know why women look surprised. They know. They say it louder. They just think that we're saying, I owe them everything. That's what I owe everything to the hood. I cannot give it up. I don't understand how people could stand next to you 1 year and next year they cannot stand there. They just going crazy screaming. They just can't take it that you're right there. But just last year I was in the same club walking around lonely like a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Couldn't get a date, couldn't get nobody to dance with me. I was too skinny, too something. And now he's just adorable. He's just, oh.
Well, how did your relationship or lack of a relationship with your father influence who you are today?
Because I didn't have a father, I thrived for the family, you know what I'm saying? So that's what made me be able to do this work. That's what makes me be able to accept all black people as my family. You know, that's part of my downfall. But because I didn't have a father, it makes me cold and bitter. not just as the excuse. I know people are tired of hearing, oh, yeah, father, we had a rough life. But, I mean, you have to be logical, you know what I'm saying? The reason I didn't have a father, it's not like I'm saying, okay, now sympathize with me. I'm saying, remember that I'm telling you I did not have a father. So when you go, what kind of kid is that? What kind of morals do we got? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I was raised by a Black Panther, you know, and out of jail. I was raised on, like, by a lot of street people. So, of course, my values are real street-orientated. But that doesn't mean that I don't have any values or I don't have any morals. You know what I'm saying? It's just that my morals are applied to the people who I'm around.
If you had a father figure growing up, how would you be different? Would you be different right now?
I think I'd probably be a lawyer somewhere, you know, because I wouldn't have hung out. I wouldn't have looked for that father figure, and I wouldn't have learned all this treacherous street game that now I can't forget. Because I was raised by a woman half my life and then thrown to the streets, it's like I got the woman side, then I got real rough, manly values like forced on me.
So sensitive. Don't be so sensitive, Tupac. Well, basically,
Boogaloo.
Boogaloo.
Marlon Wayans playing the role of Boogaloo.
What is Boogaloo?
Where did that name come from, first of all?
Some white guys didn't know. What's your homeboy hip-hop name? Boogaloo.
What are they calling each other these days?
I got a song called Pain. I wrote it as soon as I got out of jail after getting charged, and I felt it, you know what I'm saying? Basketball is, and I hate to make this sound cliche, you know, like, all us black folks need to get out the ghetto is a basketball.
Or dance.
You know what I'm saying? But it's not like that in this story. It's not like basketball in terms of him going to college. It's just basketball in terms of there being something for him to concentrate on, you know, something for him to get his mind away from the negative.
And that's the action in our movie, is the basketball. It's like guns in Die Hard. You know, it's the action.
I like playing the bad guy, but I want to play a bad guy that's for real, like a Robert De Niro or Harvey Keitel, you know what I'm saying, with some substance and character, you know, and not.
Now the rest allowed to be heard?
Vista de comparecencia inicial. Señoras y señores, esta es la vista de comparecencia inicial del condado de Maricopa. El propósito de esta vista es explicarles las acusaciones en su contra de...
Nobody knows, just to walk in the door. It's crazy. Nobody knows how they got here. Ridiculous, man. They were in the garage, around the corner.
All right.
Take your seats, please. Okay, sir, you've got 4 separate probation violation matters that are before the court this evening. The first is a probation for theft, which is a Class 3 felony. The second is probation for possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, and animal cruelty, which is a misdemeanor offense. The next is a probation violation matter in regard to an attempted aggravated assault charge, Class 6 felony. And
Thank you, Kayla. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Possession of marijuana, which is also a Class 6 felony.
Bad treatment going on. Only one in here. He's the only one who got arrested today.
Do it every time, man. Every time, man. Every time they do it to me. They gotta be quiet about it. I get my rights violated, but I gotta be quiet about it. Let's go. Now, let's go.
DMX explained. And which when I first saw this, I'm like, well, I feel like DMX right here. And when I first saw this, I said, DMX is the only one that got arrested for that day? Doesn't that seem really odd? DMX out of the whole entire town is the only one who got arrested that day. That's bull crap. But him and Tupac, they had to, powers that be said they could not be. The powers that be said they could not be. We not going through you having a bunch of people follow you to stop nothing. You ain't stopping, you ain't leading your people nowhere. And this video is also showing you how two people from the street can change the world. Just like my man Tupac said, why is the NAACP still in business? What? I mean, everybody got their own saying. Everybody can believe what they want to believe. But if you're not educated, where are they? They are not in none of these hoods. They're not helping out nobody in the hood. They ain't walking into nobody project. They ain't stepping into Compton. They ain't stepping into Chicago. They're not coming to New York. And I mean, they're not coming into none of the gritty places where they can really help somebody. Where are they? We had two men and Nipsey Hussle too. I may do a little, depending on time-wise, I may find some good old Nipsey Hussle videos. It's not odd if you understand the game. Now, of course I understand the game. Notice sometime with Tupac, they use his rap name to state the charges. Tupac said he never had charges before he was a rapper. Thank you so much. So what I'm saying is, this is the problem that we have. Not we have, but that they have. Two young men from the street who were both, one mother was a Panther, but that Panther didn't help out her son because she was on crack while she was pregnant with Tupac. She was a crackhead. She was in jail. Tupac was almost born in jail. They both have gotten neglected as they were children. They both seen the struggle. They both was pushed out of the house. They both had no father in their life. All they had was the streets. All they had was the streets. But these two young men, their voice was enough to change people. Whereas you got all our scholars, hasn't changed nobody who really needs it. We ain't talking about going to these colleges and giving speeches at these colleges and all these law firms and all these beautiful things. We talking about the people who really need help, who lost their way because of whatever situation that they were in or they are in. We had two young men who spoke for them. Who speaks for the young people now? It was Nipsey. But they say Nipsey, Nipsey, you too much like Tupac. You too much like DMX. But X got a problem. X has a problem. We're going to let X stay around a little bit longer. But we don't want his voice to get no stronger because the power is in the voice. The power is in the tongue. The power is in the tongue. The power is in the tongue. You had to say that more than once. The power is in the tongue. The power is in the energy of how you reach people. We got to keep these going today. We're going to keep them going. We're going to keep them going. It's really not much to break down because they do a hell of a job themselves. They do a hell of a job themselves breaking it down.
And I looked up to him like an older brother. You know what I'm saying? I love this guy like an older brother. You know, and I don't have any brothers. And man, I would be about to rap, and then this guy, he introduced me to what would be the best part of my life, which would be the rap. But he also, at the end of my life, is blessed with the curse. And the curse aspect of it was, I didn't smoke cigarettes, I didn't smoke weed, I didn't do anything. I'm 14 years old, and me and my man should do a robbery one night, and it was his birthday, and we came back, we spent the money. I said, hey, you know, take this, go get something nice for your birthday, whatever. So we came back with a blunt rolled up, and as I'm counting the money, he likes the blunt. And I said, I was impressed. I don't really smoke, nigga, fuck out of there. And he passed the blunt around, and wow. And I had the blood, and I'm like, I was no longer focused on the money. I never felt like it just fucked me up. I'm like, the fuck? And I later found out that he laced the blood with crack. My thing. Why would you do that to a child?
Correct.
And this nigga like 30, you know what I'm saying? And he knew how I looked up to him. Yeah. He knew how I looked up to him, you know what I'm saying? And like, why would you do that to somebody who looks up to you? Like, I mean?
Take your time, brother.
A monster was born. A monster was born. I mean, and that's I wouldn't do that to my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I mean, like I said, especially to someone that you supposedly love.
Yeah.
Yo, peace and blessings, everybody. So, you know, when I had seen this conversation or this explanation, this interview conducted.
We're going to have a little prayer. A little prayer we're going to have. Because, you know, DMX and his prayers. We're going to have a little intermission prayer. Yeah, it really helps. All predators prefer their victims have troubled homes or parents that are absent or even better drugs. Chris Stokes pimped the mother of one of his band. He manages sad. Yeah, we got a little prayer. Let DMX give us a little prayer here. Let him give us a little prayer.
Pray, bear with me. First, I thank you for the life of everyone that's here with me. Then I thank you for the love you give me. Why? I don't know. I don't deserve it, and it hurts inside. Many a nights I cried and called your name out loud, but didn't call you when I was doing good, too proud. And still you gave me love. I wasn't used to that. Most of the people that gave me love ended up taking it back. That's something new to me. So I'm asking you for time to adjust. Let me make it there. I will be one you can trust. What I stand for, I put my life on, I do. I guess what I'm asking is, show me how to stand for you. And I will rap for you, sing for you, reach for you, preach for you, teach for you. I will love you like you love me, unconditionally. And I will always be prepared for whatever the mission will be. Give the nutrition to me, and I'll properly digest it. And when I give it back, I will show you word well invested. And whenever I go, before I go, let me give. Thanks to you, Lord, for my birth, for every day that I've lived. You gave me a love most of my life I didn't know was there. I give you my life because you cared.
Amen. Well, we gonna keep this going. We gonna keep this going. Let's keep this going.
I'm the religion that, to me, is the realest religion there is. I believe in God. I try to pray to God every night as I pass out. Right. And I think we turn motherfucking dope fiends and dope heads into profitable, productive citizens into society. You know what I mean? We turn money. We turn words into money. You know what I mean? What greater gift can there be? So I believe God blesses us. I believe God blesses those that hustle, those that use their mind, and those that overall are righteous. I believe that your karma, everything that you do bad comes back to you. So anything that I'm doing that's bad, I'm going to have to suffer for it. But in my heart, I think what I'm doing is right. You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm going to heaven. You know what I mean? And I think heaven is just when you sleep with a good conscience. You don't have nightmares. And hell is when you sleep, the last thing you see is all the fucked up things you did in your life. And you just see it over and over again. Because you don't burn. Because if that's the case, it's hell on earth. Because bullets burn. You know what I mean? It's people that got burnt in fires. That means they went to hell already. You know what I mean? All that is here. So what else? What do you got there that we ain't seen here? What, you gonna walk around aimlessly, zombie? Nigga, that's here. You ain't been on the streets like...
Shorty Womp Womp. This is exactly why I'm doing this video. The purpose of this video is to show you their duality. Their duality. You know? And this is to show you the real them. Yeah, they backslided. Yeah, he was thug life 1 minute, but and X also had his problems. But this is the duality. But they still spoke volumes. They still spoke volumes. Can't nobody contest this man's brain. Can't nobody contest how this man see the world. That's why I say I wanted to get into their duality so y'all could see the real them. These are the parts. Hey, Snapper Carter, how you doing? This is the duality. They both had two sides of them. They both was haunted by, yeah, but how many people that's in the industry that when they go to these industry parties have not had a Caucasian woman? How many? You would have to say, no, DX was just as more as sincere as I showed in the first video. As I showed in the first video, X was just, Tupac was just as sincere. He put his money where his mouth is at. He put his money there. He put his money there. He was not just about the community, but this man set up homes and stuff for people. I'm going to go back to that first video. I got to go back. Okay, you said he's a walking contradiction. No, he put his money where his mouth at. I'm going to show this video again. He did things in his community. He helped people in his community. He talked that talk and walked that walk. But like I said, him and DMX possess a duality. You have to take them both. But we're going to show this video again. Let's go. Hopefully this is the right one.
How bad it is out there. You watch the news like I watch the news. All these little kids dying, and the world just bugged out, man. It's not like it was way before when, you know, as we remember it. Even probably people older than me remember it different, like more quiet and calmer. I remember like problems, but it wasn't as bad as it is now for like the younger generation. So we have to be more compassionate.
Tupac was an extraordinarily compassionate man. His various houses and places of residences, from his first apartment,
See,
were
listen.
missions and flop houses for anybody that needed it, or somebody he saw any glimmer of hope in, you know.
The truth does care about.
Especially to children who had parents who were drug addicted or who had parents that were incarcerated. He wanted to be able to set up something that was going to help those children, but he wanted to do it quietly. He didn't want to look like he was trying to sell records.
When people say Pac is the best rapper of all time, they don't just mean he's the best rapper. They just mean what he had to say was most potent.
See, say what you want, but Tupac know where he came from. He knew his mother was a drug addict. He knew, no, duality is in a lot of people in a banana, whether we want to believe it or not. Duality is in all of us. We know we both have a good side and we all have a shadow side. But this man put his money where his mouth is at. And you also have to remember, this man was under 25 years old. Under 25. As of today, with both of them with the Father, Lord in heaven, they are now both 50 years old. But this is a mind that is not even fully developed. He's under 25. He died at 25 years old. This man's mind was more advanced than what we hear grown people speaking today. He sheltered kids with no father. He helped people whose parents had drug addiction. He was for helping out. The world is for the devil. I can't wait for the Most High. Yes, I think the duality is trying to be an industry slave with master mindset. They both were very capable of running their own industry. They chose to follow and curse. Well, that goes for everybody in the industry. Even if people like, oh, I'm going to go independent. Okay, you're going to go independent on what? You still have to use their platforms. You still have to use, you can put on a different face when you go into a job, don't you? Sometimes you must put on a face to fool your enemy. Hey, Snapper, I kind of agree with that one. I totally agree with that one. Totally agree. You can't, they both have demons. They both are sincere. DMX also did a lot of stuff that nobody knew. He put his money into stuff where we don't even know about, where they was about the street, the people, the hungry, crying, people that's calling out for help in the street. In the street. Their duality is what kept them going. But this is another light of them when they wasn't in that thug life duality, or they wasn't in the mindset of the street duality. This was them. This was them saying, this is regular me. Yes, that is true. But who have not sold the souls in the industry? If people is complaining about them selling their souls, then you need to cut off your radio. Don't listen to no music, not even gospel music. They sold out too. They signed the contract too. You need to not have on YouTube. You need to not do nothing. But in between that, they try to show people a better way. They try to preach to you a better way. They try to get you to help your brother that's struggling right next to you. They wasn't just about the industry. They were about the people. And they had to do it in a way that they was not. They said X will go hang with the homeless. Just exactly. Yeah, you can listen to any music. I mean, any music, not even gospel music, Empress. You got to be music free, because the devil owns the industry, period. But if you could see the people that's put in these predicaments, they put their lives on the, when you see these videos, every time you see these videos that I'm playing, that's them putting their life on the line. Because they're not speaking upon the industry. They're telling you ways to help yourself. They're telling you ways you can better yourself. That's putting your life on the line. That was not part of the oath. That wasn't part of the oath. It was not. So you got to give these men, including Nipsey Hussle, you got to give them some kudos. Who speaks for the people? They said, yeah. So to say, you know, even with these, even when we use YouTube, we already know who is controlled by, but we, just like them, we got to put a positive spin on this. But people don't understand the danger. This is why they had to take them out. So let's give them a little bit of credit. Now we're going to get back into X. We're going to get back into X. Now, what was we watching with X? Okay, now we're going to show X. Back to X we go. These men gave up their lives for us to try to hit us with some Jews, knowing that they took that oath.
Struggles started early, first at the hands of an abusive mother, and then on the rough streets of Yonkers, where he did what it took to survive. The result was DMX spending the majority of his teen years in and out of jail on a variety of theft and drug charges. It was during these incarcerations that DMX focused his energies on music. His angry and intense rhymes brought him to elite heights, not just in the rap community, but the entire entertainment world. With multiple #1 albums and chart-topping hits, starring roles in blockbuster movies, and an autobiography, it was good to be DMX. So it seemed. His struggle with drugs continued into his adult years as fame and money only fueled his appetite. The drugs were not only ruining his career, but tearing his life apart. DMX's recent string of arrests includes drug possession, weapons charges, and impersonating an FBI agent. Today, DMX is clean, focused, and poised to once again take the entertainment world by storm. Please welcome DMX! Has that been your life?
About, let me see, this is 97, about 13, 14 years.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It's good to be DMX, yeah?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Sometimes is what I want you to talk about.
Yeah.
Trouble started early for you, didn't it?
Well, what do you mean by trouble?
It's going to be a long interview, DMX. You first had problems with the juvenile hall. You were incarcerated as a kid, right?
Yeah.
For what kind of stuff?
Robberies. Yeah.
Was that related to a drug thing? Or just
want to get money.
And then, so that started early, and then very recently you just got out of jail, too.
Yeah.
Was it jail or prison? Prison. How long were you in for?
A year. Violation of probation.
Nice.
Yeah. Good old Arizona.
And you had time to think while you were there.
Well, yeah. You always get time to think, when you sit down and, just revamp and, clean house, so to speak.
Are things different now?
Yeah. We got a new team. I had to get rid of, previous management. Come out of prison, expecting to have something and, find out that they stole from me. And, it's a little disappointing.
So I think what people want to know is, are you done? Is this it?
Done what, with music?
No. Are you done with the criminal behavior, with the legal system?
I like to be done with the legal system. But, one thing that people don't really understand is that as a celebrity, you rarely get fair treatment. You either get love or hate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's never really fair. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you get pulled over and you get the cool cop and it's all good. Sometimes you get pulled over and you get that other guy and he wants to lock you up for not wearing a seatbelt.
For not wearing a seatbelt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you actually broke out of jail at one point, right?
Yeah. How'd you know about that?
and tell me about that experience.
It was December 16th. I think it was 1988. And I broke out, me and this other kid, and I think his name was Bobby or something. And it took me 10 days to get home. It was in the middle of winter, upstate New York. It's locked up, and that was kind of rough.
Let me get this right. Were you running in the upstates? If people, you're in Southern California, upstate New York in the winter is like 0 degrees.
Yeah.
And you
about 3 feet of snow.
Yeah, you and another guy with the clothes on your back.
Well, what we did, we prepared for it. I saw this movie called Runaway Train, and with John Voight, I think he's in it, and Eric Roberts, and they put Vaseline on their legs and saran wrap around it and put on like 3 pairs of clothes, So we did all that
for the cold.
We did all that, yeah.
And how'd you actually break out?
We just ran. It was a medium security facility. And I said, in the middle of the winter, they don't think anybody's going to go anywhere because there's nowhere to go. It's like all farmland. But, when we get off the bus, there'd be an officer here and an officer here. They said, when we get off the bus, just run this guy over. And we just ran out.
Just went. And how long were you a fugitive for?
Oh, maybe the 2nd or 3rd of January.
So about a month you're out.
A little less than a month.
That's something that was a troubling experience for you.
What was troubling?
That whole experience. It was not so good.
It wasn't the best, but I was glad to be out, so I did appreciate, something about it.
Yeah. So anything to get out.
Yeah.
And so then did they prolong your sentence because of that?
No. And that was one of the first times that I realized that I was in God's grace. You know what I'm saying? That God had a hand in my life, because I was like, damn, I know I'm gonna get 7, because it's 7 years for escape.
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta finish up the time I was supposed to do it. I'm gonna get 7 years, and I didn't get any extra time. Now, they did put me in a maximum security facility, but
for how long?
I ended up being there about 2 years.
2 years of maximum security. Yeah. This is no. That's the real deal.
Well, I mean,
was that the only time you spent in a maximum security setting?
No.
No? So you were under God's grace in 1988, 1990. How many more arrests after that? Like 10, 12 more?
At least.
How many total?
I have no idea. But my rap sheet went half the distance of half the length of a courtroom. So they made the movie and pulled it out.
Like a big scroll, like something out of a medieval courtroom.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Something. That's quite a life.
Yeah.
And you've got this when you get out.
Yeah. I think my life is just beginning.
Wow, you've lived a lot. But and on that note, we're going to come back and ask why DMX says at age 3 he had actually so much rage in him already that he could have killed a man. Be right back. You had, I guess, told my producers at the age of 3, you already had enough rage in you that you were prepared, or thought at least, you could kill a man.
Well, I mean, I think it's taken a little out of context. What it was, you know, I'd be going to daycare. My mother would be bringing to daycare, and you'd have the winos in the corner, and they'd whistle and say things like, "Oh, she's mean," or whatever. And I just really thought I could, like, I thought I could kill him. Like, yeah, all I gotta do is jump on his back and choke him, and not realizing they probably would just slam me on the ground.
Tell me about your childhood. How was it at home? Was your dad around?
No.
Is Dad gone?
Yep. Yeah.
Do you know your dad?
I know him. I know who he is. You know.
But he was not around when you were growing up?
Not at all.
Did you resent that?
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
And what happened with you and your mom? You said the relationship wasn't very good.
Yeah, it wasn't really good.
You wrote about, I guess in your book, you wrote about some abuse.
Well, yeah, you know, I think back then everybody got beatings, you know? And to a certain extent, it made me a better person. You know, although, you know, some were a little extreme.
How bad did it get?
It got pretty bad.
Were you ever sent to the hospital or anything?
No, but there was plenty of days I couldn't sit down in school.
Did you have to go get the switches yourself?
Sometimes, yeah. What you know about that? We find out. Yeah, but she had this. It was 3 like extension cords, and she braided it together. And sometimes we'd get it with that. That was rough. Do you beat your children?
No.
You don't? At all?
You know why?
Why?
Because I know what it does to their brain.
What does it do to their
It
brain?
changes your brain. It makes it so it's hard to regulate emotions. It puts them at risk for all kinds of stuff. And drugs and alcohol are what in my world, that's where it ends up. People using drugs and alcohol to regulate because they can't regulate themselves.
And it all comes from beatings.
Not all of it, but that's a good way to induce. It sort of shatters the brain's ability to regulate, you know, because that terror. Yeah. And the crazy thing, and I've said this on this show many times, the crazy thing about humans, you see if this sounds true for you, is that when we have these terrorizing experiences of childhood, we're attracted to people and places that end up recreating the same thing all over again. So we get beating, or we beat other people, or we end up in really aggressive situations and treat our partners aggressively, or get treated aggressively by partners, have trouble in relationships. That's why I don't beat my kids.
Good to know.
Do you have kids?
Yeah.
How many you got?
10.
10 kids?
Yeah.
What are the ages?
18 to 4 months.
Are you involved in everybody's life?
Yes, I am. And most of them have gotten beatings.
You beat your kids?
You know, see, like, you don't really have to beat them. It's like, you know, that one time, you know, pat them on the ass, you know, smack them on the ass with the belt a couple times, and they get the point. So you know, it's not continual beating. I mean, anybody you got to beat over and over again, evidently it's not working.
So, right. So it's more like spankings you're in.
Yeah, you get them a spanking. You know, that one time after you explain to them not to do it, they go back and do it again. Like, oh, you think I'm soft, huh? You know, and your business, but they won't do it again.
But with your mom, it got out of control.
Yeah. That's a whole other. And that's why. You know, so I talk to my kids first. You know, I sit them down and explain to them what they're wrong. And if I see that they're genuinely remorseful about the situation, then, you know, I'll let it go. Because it's about them learning. It's not about me just beating them, you know what I'm saying, or having to give them a beating. It's about them learning something, you know?
Yeah. How old were you when the drug started?
14.
14. And then they really started for real then?
No, just like tried it.
Dabbling then?
Yeah.
I imagine when you got very successful, though, the money...
That made a big difference.
That accelerated the drug use, right?
Yes, it did.
Yeah. So at the height of your success, you must have had everything, right?
Yeah, but there's a lot of headaches that come with it, too.
Like what?
Like family members that you haven't seen your whole life, you know, popping up and wanting to be your friend, fake people wanting to be your friends, people asking for money, people asking for favors, just people getting on your nerves, man. It's like, damn, you know, when I was broke, I was happier because at least I knew who was around me, you know what I'm saying? I was aware of their intentions, and, you know, I knew who they were. Now it's like you can't trust anybody, you know, and that's a worse feeling than being broke.
Are there people you can be vulnerable with? They can be really honest?
Yeah,
really be honest.
Yeah.
Because it seems like, I mean, You seem like actually a sensitive guy inside somewhere. Earl's a sensitive guy. Don't tell anybody. But I mean, you seem...
I mean, there are times, you know, like I said, I'm human.
Because I see stuff flash. Flashes past.
I see a lot of flashing going on.
Yeah, and if you get off that,
maybe I need a mirror or something. I don't know what's going on.
You get off and through emotions like poof, they skate past you. You're sort of glancing past them. I'm interested in feelings and stuff. That's why I kind of trying to stay with that. And I hear your life story and I think, wow, that's a lot of pain. That's a lot of pain, a lot of excitement, a lot of cool stuff, a lot of
everything.
A lot of everything.
Yeah, supercharged.
Yeah. But the pain part is the part that it feels like you avoid.
I do. I do. For a long time, like when things that would like really bother me, you know, I would just block them out. There's not much room left to keep blocking things out, so I'm gonna just deal with things that bother me.
What bothers you now?
People that steal from you. You know, people that, you know, you'd be willing to give them anything they need and, you know, they'd rather steal it. You know, can't stand a liar. Yeah.
Something recent happened?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is this what you're talking about when you left prison? Is that that experience?
Yeah, I found out a lot of things when I left prison. Yeah. Found out a lot of things. Yep. Daddy mother's a slut. Manager's a thief. You know. It happens.
People you really trusted.
Yeah, people I took care of. Like, it went beyond trust. Like, you know, everything you got is because of me, type of thing. You know? You still steal from me?
Is that a new way you're dealing with stuff?
Yeah.
Because you seem really angry.
That's a new way.
And I imagine that anger could make you do...
Yeah.
Are you on probation now, or are you free? You're free.
I'm done, yeah.
And where are we at with drugs and alcohol?
What do you mean? You need some? No, man.
I think my text does, my True does. They're like, he is so fun. I got to talk to him afterwards.
You know, I drink, you know, occasionally if I'm out or in the studio or whatever, but that's about it.
Okay.
That's about it.
All right,
you know?
so the substances have calmed way down.
Yeah. Actually, pretty much disappeared.
Okay.
You know.
Did you have some sort of moment of clarity?
Yeah.
Was that in prison?
Yep.
What happened?
I don't know, just like, you know what, the only way I'm going to get it is if I just, you know, fall back and just do it right.
Okay. And now you're out to do it right.
Yeah.
And we actually called upon you to help us change a kid's life.
Yeah.
Because you now feel like you can.
Yeah.
You don't want to see another kid going down the path that you went down.
Exactly.
All right. Now, we had a mother send us a tape. She was fearful that her son, Rayvon, would either end up dead or on the streets, in prison. Take a look at Rayvon's story.
My name is Rayvon. I'm 17 years old. I live in Inglewood, California with my mom. Nothing like the streets. The streets is fun. I don't see a problem with hanging out on the streets. I've been on the streets ever since mom let me come outside. Hey, I started smoking weed when I was 15. I've gotten into fights. I'd rather fight than argue. If I see something and it's right there, I might take it and not give it back. I'm a very hard-headed person. I don't like people telling me what to do. I got kicked out of my school because of my grades. The way I make fast cash is send a whole group of people outside shooting dice and I join in. The most I've made in a dice game was $300. When I'm out on the streets, I go to the park with my friends, skateboard, shoot dice, play basketball. I love to rap. Rap is one of my favorites. I've been rapping for a long time. Ever since I knew how to talk, I knew how to rap. I'm stuck in, trying to find a way out. It feels like I'm trapped in the prison, trying to break out. Girls don't want nothing but sex and want to make out. My head spinning in circles, that's nothing I can shake out. I feel like my life is already written out. Like my brother's been to prison and everybody else in my family been to prison. Matter of time before I go.
Matter of time before he ends up there. Did you see yourself in him?
Yeah. Yeah, I just didn't, you know, have anyone there to say something to me.
So if you'd had an adult role model male step in, maybe it would have been different.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're right. So after hearing how Rayvon just loved his street life and that he felt he was heading towards prison, I thought we'd send DMX over to give this teen a wake-up call. Take a look at this.
I'm all right. How you doing?
Good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
I've been hearing a lot of things about you, you know what I'm saying? That, you know, you good with the music, but you know, you're dealing with a lot of things as well as far as the streets and everything. You know?
That's true.
All right, well, we gonna get through it, man. All right. You know what I'm saying? Stick around. All right?
This is crazy. I ain't never been in a situation like this. Like, I'm in a car with a star.
It's actually a blessing for me. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of people that's concerned about you, a lot of people that care about you. You know what I'm saying? And you know, they just want to make sure that you make the right choices. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess, you know, I don't know what's going on, but I guess it looks like you're heading in the wrong direction. You know what I'm saying?
I feel the same way because both of my brothers, one of my brothers still in prison, another one just got out, home invasions and robbery. And it's like a cycle for a matter of time. Like, I feel I might be on my way, you know?
Well, I mean, that's definitely what happened.
Yeah.
That's definitely what, and you don't want to go to prison, man.
Been trying to rap for like 5 years.
You're young enough, you know what I mean? You got the talent, but you got to put that effort into it.
I do that, and then I get sidetracked, go out with my friends, stay out late.
Just got to know when to say, all right, you know, if you're going to do some, you know, then I'm going over here. Dr. Drew got, you know, something he wants you to see.
So what'd you think when you first met that kid?
I really didn't think about anything.
Never could help him.
Yeah, oh yeah, I knew I could help him.
You knew you could?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I wanted DMX to show Rayvon that he is in fact right at a crossroads, that he has two paths to choose between. First choice, self-destruction. Take a look.
Yeah, I guess at this stage of your life, you know, you got a crossroad.
Yeah.
You go left? All right. Good luck.
You won't go down like that. You take the money and go. Shut up, let me think. Think for what? This is your robbery, okay? You behind this. Get the shooter? Man, I ain't going down for you. You ain't going down for me. If I get popped, we both get popped. I'm not going down for you. You have to kill nobody. Say ain't enough money for both of us anyway. You know what? You know what? You're right.
This is like the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel about that?
Well, I feel like that could be, you know, that could be me.
Yeah.
You know?
It could be. It happens every day. You know, but there's many other options.
All right.
You know, and I'm gonna show you a couple of them.
All right.
Right?
Okay, just to be clear, that was a reenactment to show Rayvon exactly, well, I mean, it's pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Show him where he was headed. You agree it's where he could easily
Yeah, that happens.
Right?
That happens every day.
It happens, right?
Yeah.
Do you think he was affected by that? He looked like he was affected.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, and so we wanted to show him another road as well.
And as usual, they cut the video. But there are two paths. And that's what DMX and Tupac and Nipsey showed us. It's two paths. You could pick any path. I may end it if I find a good Nipsey Hussle video. But we're going to end this with Tupac in jail. His jail video. This is the real Tupac. Like I said, duality. Like Damien. Listen to all three Damiens. Thank you, Anna Banana. I try to bring it for you guys. And it's really sad that when I do the Nature Nut videos, you have like so many people that's in tune with that fake reality, that narcissistic person. But when you bring the real news, these are the people who I see here now are my true subscribers. And I thank you. And anybody who's watching this video, I hope you get something out of these fine men. I'm going to try to find a good Nipsey Hussle video. But until then, we're going to go in this with Tupac in jail and his wise words. Right.
I wrote whole scenes in Above the Rim.
And to set the record straight, Tupac, this interview is not about your trial, your court appeals. It is about Tupac, the inner man, then and now. Since your period of incarceration at Clinton Correctional Facility, have you taken the time to reflect on your previous lifestyle, or specifically your gangster thug image?
I don't see it as me having this gangster thug image. Thug life would be more accurate, but it's not an image, it's just a way of life, it's a mentality. Yes, I have taken a...
And guys, keep in mind, if you have children, this is a 25-year-old man that's talking. As of today, he's 50, but this is a 25. When you compare DMX, a 50-year-old, and 25-year-old, I mean, can you imagine where Tupac's would have been if he had that extra 25 years? We're learning this from a 20 in 2021. This was like 1992 or 3 or 4 or 5. This is in the 1990s. We in 2021, and we still learning from this man. Yeah, he knew how to switch. But guess what? What we see today, we don't even see the duality. What we see is straight up nonsense. What we see is straight up nonsense. All we see is them having a bunch of babies. Not saying DMX ain't have a bunch of babies, but all we see is the guns, the violence, songs about taking drugs and seeing these videos and all this demonic imageries. That's all we see now. The real men, they are pushing out the real men. And we're not going to see too many more real men. And if we can't say nothing more about X, that was a real man. Tupac was a real man. And 25 to 26 years later, this man is still kicking Jews. But this is a reason why they call DMX another Tupac. They call him another Tupac. Even though they're the same age, but DMX came out when he was 28. He was 28. By 28, by the time DMX came out, Tupac was not here. Tupac was gone by 25. DMX came on the scene 27, 28, far as hitting records. Probably talking about musically. He probably was doing music before that. But when Tupac came into the scene, when DMX came into the scene, Tupac has already ascended. He already ascended. Oh, thank you, Kenla. So we're going to listen to these words, the real words of Tupac, the real Tupac. And let's not forget, he is a Gemini. He is a Gemini. Let's not forget the man is a Gemini. There's two sides to him anyway. There's two sides to him anyway.
Time to reflect on it. In my reflection, I don't see it as being
And to set the record straight, Tupac, this interview is not about your trial, your court appeals. It is about Tupac, the inner man, then and now. Since your period of incarceration at Clinton Correctional Facility, have you taken the time to reflect on your previous lifestyle, or specifically your gangster thug image?
I don't see it as me having this gangster thug image. Thug life would be more accurate, but it's not an image, it's just a way of life, it's a mentality. Yes, I have taken the time to reflect on it. In my reflection, I don't see it as being wrong, I just see it as being a stage that we all go through. You know, it's just like that. For little white kids and rich kids, they get to go to the military academy or ROTC, or they get to take all of this energy and put it into the armed forces. And for a young black male, a young Puerto Rican or Hispanic person, we got to put this in the streets. That's where our energies go. That's the only place we have to put it. So that's where we end up putting it. So that's what I did. I don't feel like what I did was so evil. I just feel like the way I was living and my mentality was a part of my progression to be a man.
Surviving several gunshot wounds is a wake-up call and a miracle in itself.
No doubt.
What were your thoughts as you lie in the hospital recuperating from the gunshots?
They shot me, straight up. I just kept thinking, they really did shoot me. I really did believe at one point, up until I got shot, that no black person would ever shoot me. I was their representative. I believed that, you know, I didn't have to fear my own community. You know, I was like, I represent them. I'm their ambassador to the world. They would never harm me. They would never rob me. They would never do me wrong. But as proven by this false rape charge, as proven by the gunshots, as proven by a lot of the comments you read in the news and in the media, that's not true. You know, I'm just one man. So I just thought about how it would change. What would I do? How can I make them sorry that they ever did this to me? You know what I mean? How can I come back like 50 times stronger and better?
How do you spend your time in prison?
Well, the first 8 months, I spent in solitude, 23 hours a day locked down, reading, writing. I wrote a script called Live to Tell.
Which is about?
It's like a semi-autobiography on my life. Half me, half fiction. It's real good. It's my first attempt at really writing a screenplay. I used to always add things to like poetic justice. I added my own words to poetic justice. I wrote whole scenes in Above the Rim. In Juice, I use a lot of my own words. This was the first time that I actually sat down and write a whole script with characters, real live, breathing characters. And so Live to Tell, I did that, worked out, little push-ups, calisthenics, read. I read a lot of good books. I read a lot of Maya Angelou's books, The Art of War by Sun Tzu, listen to music, you know, different types of music, calm my soul. Dionne Farris, she really got me through a lot of this time.
Does the prison experience provide a source of new material
Daughters
or
of the
inspire
Sea.
your creative sources for a new album?
Everybody thought it would, you know? Everybody's like, oh man, he's in jail now. I know he's gonna come out, he's gonna have a bomb album, but it's the opposite. Prison kills your spirit, straight up. It kills your spirit. There is no creativity, there's none of that. You know, I see a lot of it in other prisoners. They got artists in here, they got poets in here, you know, but as far as me, it just killed my spirit. I couldn't write. I only recently started writing, and besides the script was just like flashing back to my old life, so it didn't really take too much for me to be inspired by. But in terms of writing music and lyrics, I didn't have that, I couldn't do it. Now, I just, you know, finished a couple of tracks, so that's good, but it doesn't really inspire creativity.
Is your music a reflection of your true thoughts, life experience, anger, or vision? The music that you recently, especially your Me Against the World album.
Me Against the World was all out of my heart. You know, like as close to telling the truth and selling records as I could possibly get. And most of my music is like that. If you look back over past albums, I just try to speak about things that affect me and about things that affect our community. And I try to do it from a viewpoint of the watcher. Sometimes I'm the watcher, sometimes I'm the participant, and sometimes it's just allegories or fables. that have a moral or have a theme, underlying theme in it to do it. You know, like my inspiration for writing music is like Don McLean when he did American Pie, he did Vincent, like Shakespeare when he does his things, like deep stories, you know, like raw human needs. Lorraine Hansberry with Raisin in the Sun. I want to do that to my music. That's how I like to do it. Marvin Gaye, you know?
Can we talk about some of your lyrics?
Sure.
That you feel reflect the harsh realities of a young black man living in America, but at the same time, in one sense, it offers them hope and respect.
No question.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand how Dolores Tucker and Bob Dole and all these other dudes, how they can say like we got gangster music. I never even classify my music as gangster music. And if you really, I know they haven't listened to my tape. I know somebody geesed them up to go attack Tupac. And now what it does is they attacked a few famous rappers and now them themselves are famous. Bob Dole want to get elected, which he won't be. Dolores Tucker just want to get a name, which she won't find, because it'll fade. I don't see how she can say she's helping the black community and strike back at us.
Is it true that you were born in prison?
Not born in prison. My mother was pregnant with me while she was in prison, and a month after she got out of prison, she gave birth to me. So I was cultivated in prison. My embryo was in prison.
It's obvious in your music that you have a strong reverence for your mother. Tell us about that relationship.
It's, you know, that's my homie. My mom's is my homie. We went through our stages, you know, where first we was mother and son, then we was, you know, when we was born, it was mother and son. Then it was like drill sergeant and cadet, you know. Then it was like dictator, little country. After I moved out and I was on my own, came back and was like some prodigal son type of thing. Where now, you know, she respects me as a man, I respect her as a mother for all the things, all the sacrifices she made. So she's really my friend. You know, it's like, it's not just me. I think all young black males and all Hispanic males, really all males period, but especially from that ghetto lifestyle, we have a deep love for our mothers because they usually raise us by themselves. You know, so you always feel closer to your mom. Even back in the day, they had, I always love my mama. It's been going on for years.
All right. Do you feel for those mothers who lost their children and babies to senseless gang and youth violence, do you have a message of consolation for those mothers?
Yeah, I do. Like with Yummy, when he passed on, you know, I know that hurt his family. I know it hurt the family of the female he supposedly had, you know, shot. Just recently, this lady wrote me named Clovis Benjamin from San Francisco, and she's a male woman, and she was writing me, telling me about her son, her nephew had just been killed, and the day before he died, he was like, I'm going to get Tupac's new tape. So she wrote me to tell me, you know, they played Dear Mama at the funeral, boom, boom, and that touched me, you know, and I was like, what can I do? Is there anything I can do? Let's do some concerts, let's do some organizing. I was like, if she's strong enough to keep going and make a difference, then I can be strong enough to make a difference. And that kind of focuses me back on what I should be doing and not.
Has your record company, Interscope, been supportive of you since you're in prison?
No doubt, very supportive. They let me pick my songs, pick the singles. I got another album that I had completed before I went to jail. They keep that hot, keep it, you know, mixing it, getting it ready for release. I'll be releasing another album probably December of this year. They've been real supportive. I even had one of them come up, you know, one of like the top people at the record company come up and see me. They send their love, their support, whatever I need, money, whatever. So they stayed down. That's why I'll stay down.
Why do you think your album is doing so well and continue to do well even though you're in prison? When others who are out here promoting their product, and this is not to cast shadow on any other rapper, but it appears that you've become more popular in your music since your imprisonment.
I don't think really the album did as good as it could have been doing, because I ain't getting no awards. MTV ain't giving me no awards, getting no Grammys, you know what I mean? I think I dig real deep with this album. But as far as the success that we do have, I owe it all to my fans, I owe it all to the people who supported me. I think the reason being is that in every album, if you go backwards, people are just getting turned on to me. If you go backwards and you listen to the other albums I've put out, it was a prophecy. This album, Me Against the World, was made before I went to jail, before I got shot. And all I'm talking about is going to jail and getting shot. So it was a prophecy.
Listen
so when the
carefully.
album comes out, then you hear about what's really going on in my real life. I mean, I don't have to say I'm keeping it real. You can listen to the music and go, whoa. You know what I mean? He said that. If I
Listen
die tonight,
carefully.
he said that. And Outlaw, where I said some dudes in a mask coming to shoot me, I said it. You know what I mean? And it ain't easy. I'm talking about being in jail. You know what I mean? And the judge not letting me out on bail. I mean, I said all of these things, and then it happened.
How many records have you sold to date? Me Against
Over
the World.
2 million. Over 2 million. We're going for 3 million now. Hopefully 3 million we can make with the support of our fans. I also feel like it's not
Shut up.
glorification, no matter what these
Let him
people say
finish
about
talking.
me. My music does not glorify any image. My music is spiritual.
You would have honestly thought that the interviewer would have shut it up and let that man finish his sentence. He was speaking upon the power of the tongue. The interviewer, you suck. That was a great time to learn about the power of the tongue. He's saying he written these things in his music and then it all happened to him. But the interviewer changed the subject. Fire him. Hopefully he doesn't have another job. He was getting ready to drop a jewel and you cut him off. Ugh.
If you listen to it, it's all about emotion. It's all about life, and where other rappers, not to diss nobody, but where other rappers might, paint a perfect picture of themselves, or whatever. I tell my innermost, darkest secrets. I reveal myself in every one of my records, from Dear Mama to Shed So Many Tears. I tell my own personal problems, and people can relate to that, I believe, and that's what makes it sell the few copies we do sell.
You realize that you have a lot of fans out here, regardless of what is happening. Even though you haven't won any awards, you have in the hood many fans, and you have many fans across the board, so to speak. Now, from what I've gathered, there's a public adoration, not only for your music, but for you as a person, which I've found to be very interesting, set apart from other rappers that I comment on and inquire about. Now, and they're all eager, your fans are eager to hear from you in prison. They want to know how you're doing. Just like you receive letters from all over the country, from kids, from their parents, so forth. What kind of message would you share with young people?
That's the question.
I know you
everybody
on
asks.
gangster rap,
Anna banana.
I understand it. I understand
That's the
where you're
question
coming from.
everybody asks.
But what are your comments on that subject for young people, for your fans, for 11 or 12 or 13-year-old that listens to your music?
First, I'm gonna say, I don't feel all the adoration or whatever that comes from the fans. I feel like a lot of people put different standards on judging me than they will put on the next man. One rapper can say, I'll kill you, I'll cut your heart out, I'll put this gun to your pregnant belly and blah, 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 and he get all love. All I'll say is, we don't need to be letting these BITCHs run our life. And I'm hating females, you know what I mean? And this other person could be the man. So I don't feel it. I think I've been attacked more than I deserve, but that's all good to me, because I always been a fighter, always been a soldier, always been a struggler. Can't nothing stop me but death itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as far as what I have to say to other people, I don't really want to come off like I got the answer, I'm finna teach y'all. It's not like that. I don't got the answers, but just from where I'm sitting at I can see the only reason I ever came out and said, when I said I was living the thug life, believe me, it was all real. You know, and as sure as thug life is tattooed across my stomach, it will always be a part of me. But thug life is like the 12th grade. Some people graduate from high school and don't seek to do anything else. So they continually live the thug life. Some people want to go to college.
Who spoke upon the picture? It fell.
Hold on, let me pick up Yummy.
Who spoke upon the picture, Anna? And it fell.
Yeah, like high school is thug life. You know, you graduate from 12th grade, and you can live your whole life with a high school diploma, but you're always gonna be missing something. That's where I felt like I was. Thug life is always gonna be real to me, and it still is real to me, because as long as the factors that make thug life are there, thug life will be there. But I also felt like I wanted to go to college, not college in a school or university, but college in life. I wanted to move up. So I wanted to do something different. I wanted to expand. I wanted to grow. And that's what this was all about, by saying, you know, no more of that. I want some more of this. I want y'all to see this. You didn't like that? Well, you definitely ain't gonna like this. So what I would tell you know, anybody who would listen to me is that, you know,
that's the powers that be.
Peeping the game.
Peep the game
is the game of life. You got to start peeping how they
Peep
doing
the
it.
game, guys.
If you see it, you can see the little signs that says that the guns are turning away from, you know, Europe and Russia and Iran and Iraq, and they're turning to us. Because look how they're doing our music. You know, you've never seen in no time in history where they've put so much attention on some music. You know what I mean? And made it like we are the cause of all these problems. You can look at it with a 3 strikes law. You can look at it where they're building more jails. They're starting to sell jail space. You know, jail is big business. Believe me, I'm in jail. I see the big business. They charge you for your telephone calls. They charge you for disciplinary problems. Jail is big business. You know, you can feed a whole town off one jail. This jail is in the middle of a town that feeds everybody. Everybody works here. This is the main income. So if there was no criminals, nobody would work. You know what I mean? So if we don't start peeping that, we're in trouble. Also, I know when I was young, the way they described jail is like, you know, blah, blah, blah. I couldn't wait to get to jail. Straight up. I mean, I was scared and everything. But
What,
I couldn't
3 huts
wait
in
to
the
get
cot?
there.
Or
No
just what?
question. It was just that's where you get the game. That's where you got more soldiers that'll build you. But now that I'm here, this is not the spot. I know everybody go to jail, come out and say, this ain't the spot. This is not the spot. You got somebody that tells you when you can get up, when you can shower, when you can do this, when you can do that. You know, they can speak to you any way they want to, and you got to accept it. You can die here, you know what I mean? Just yesterday, a dude was murdered. He wasn't in here on no murder beef. This dude was in here on a drug beef. You know, he's gone, he's dead in jail. You know what I mean? By another prisoner who had life. He had nothing to lose, you know what I mean? So when you start looking at it like that, you'll start seeing that it just don't weigh out to be in our favor. So we need to start figuring out another way. Now, if we do want to live the thug life and the gangster life and all of that, okay. So stop being cowards and let's have a revolution. But we don't want to do that. Dudes just want to live a character. They want to be cartoons. But if they really wanted to do something, they was that tough, all right, let's start our own country. Let's start a revolution. Let's get out of here. Let's do something. But they don't want to do that. They want to pimp our communities and portray this image that they know we all can't survive and make it. And that's what I saw. Even though I was surviving in the thug life, everybody that was trying to be like me was going to jail. And then finally I went to jail. Even though I wasn't getting shot up, they was all getting shot up. Then I got shot up. And I started seeing, damn, you know, it is my fault. It's not my fault where I made it happen, but it's my fault because I'm smarter than that. Now, if I was dumb and I was ignorant is bliss. Ignorance is bliss. Now, if I was dumb, it'd be cool. It wouldn't be my fault. But it's my fault because I'm smarter than that. I do have another way I can say this. It doesn't mean that I don't feel that way no more. It just means that let me be as smart as them or smart.
See, this is how you take accountability for your actions. Can you explain this to the new artists? Can you explain this to the new artists? You are responsible for things that go on in your music. Your presence and what you do does have an impact in communities. You cannot say what Cardi B and the rest of them say, oh, well, don't have your children listening to. Yeah, y'all can say, I don't raise your kids. You raise your kids. But here you got a man to say, everything I said, I put in my words, happened to people, and then it happened to me. This is how, see, this is what I'm saying. It'll never be another X and there'll never be another Tupac. But I'm going to let this run because I want to show a little Nipsey Hussle because that's 3 the hard way. Them 3 is 3 the hard way.
Smarter. All right, knowing what you know, what do you think about youth and gang violence in America, especially in the black communities and Hispanic communities? Youth and gang violence.
I think I'm gonna get a lot of flack for it. I think gangs can be positive. It just has to be organized and it has to steer away from being self-destructive to being self-productive. I think this country was built on gangs. You know, I think this country still is run on gangs. Republicans, Democrats, the police department, the FBI, the CIA, those are gangs. You know what I mean? The correctional officers. I had a correctional officer tell me straight up, we the biggest gang in New York State. Straight up, you know what I mean? So this whole country is built on gangs. We just have to not be so self-destructive about it. Organize, you know?
But the violence.
The violence, but it's violence in America. What did the USA just do flying to Bosnia? We ain't got no business over there. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. How can they tell us not to have gang? You know what gang violence is? Mostly, and the people don't want you to hear this, somebody shoots your family member. So of course you retaliate. You know what I mean? Same thing the US does, except nobody even shot their family members. You know, they see somebody bomb a school and all these people get killed, so the United States feel like, oh, that's messed up, we gotta go show them who's the real killers. That's the same mentality these gangsters get. You know what I mean? So until they stop that mentality, we won't stop, or they won't stop, because they watch this country to see what they do. America is the biggest gang in the world. You know what I mean? Look at how they didn't agree with Cuba, so what was the, cut them off. That's what we do in the street. We block things off. I want to say stop the violence. I want to say the violence ain't good. And
Why can't you say that then?
Because that's not realistic. I know it's not good. If anybody speak up against violence, it'll be the brother that got shot 5 times. I got shot twice in my hair, all up in. Trust me, violence ain't cool. And they know violence ain't cool. Ain't nobody out there with a gun saying it's cool to be shooting people. It's just, you know, it's certain situations where there is no way out. But there are situations where we can find a way out. But until we find that way out, we can't say not to live this lifestyle. Now, too, we as black men, Puerto Ricans, whatever, till we stand up and start taking control of our communities, we can't get mad at anybody who stands up to do anything. You know what I mean? So I believe that it's the community that needs to do something about it. I do believe that there's a piece of liability on the drug dealers and the gangsters and the gangs and all of that, but these are not scholars. You know what I mean? We pay taxes. We pay taxes. This government is not doing anything to stop it. When the people in LA, after the rebellion, when we stopped and there was a truce, nothing happened. Did we get any jobs? No. Did we get any relief? No. But every time there's a flood, an earthquake, or a thunderstorm, America will give mad millions to somebody because their house broke down. They don't care if we stop the violence or not. They don't care about gang violence. You know what I mean? Every time that Bosnia gets shot up, any place gets shot up, they send them a whole bunch of millions in food and packages from Somalia, everywhere. Everybody getting food but us. So we don't want the gang violence to stop. So they can't ask me to tell them to stop the violence, because I can't tell nobody who's hungry what to do unless I'm ready to feed them. Then I'll tell them what to do.
How can gangs be positive in the community?
Regulate our community. If you got somebody dealing drugs in the community, make them pay for the community center. Make them have hours that they can work on that block. You know what I mean? And if they don't want to listen, then you turn against them. Be security in your own neighborhood. You know what I mean? If we so strong as gangs and as hustlers and as G's and as thugs or whatever, it should be no rapes, there should be no violence, there should be no gunshots in our community unless we the ones sparking it, unless we doing that to somebody that's trying to infiltrate or break down our community. You know what I mean? All this money that we make in the streets, we should bring it back and turn it back into the community. We need to have block parties again. We need to have leagues, you know, summer leagues and football teams and basketball teams. We need to start taking care of our own. That's how it can be positive. It can be positive when we start, you know, sending these young G's to school, sending the younger G's to college. You know, let them come back and build something.
Okay, this interview was conceived with you in mind, and to offer an opportunity for you to speak to your fans and anybody else. Now, do you have any comments on setting the record straight, friends or foes?
Yeah, I'm gonna say like the Spanish dude in here always tell me, I don't got no friends. I don't got no friends. You know what I mean? I got supporters, people on my side and people on the other side. I ain't gonna blow up nobody's name, but I will say that as far as that Vibe interview, and everybody was saying, you know, everybody that was involved knows what happened. And everything is there. If you got a brain, just read everything over and read my reply, read their reply, read what people say. Watch people. Because you can fake for a long time, but one day you're going to show yourself to be a phony.
That's for true.
You know what I mean? And that's what these, you know, a lot of people are doing these days. Think back. Did you think about all the people that you seen me put on stage? Think about all the people that I put on, that I got into this game, that I showed how to do this. And think about what they're saying now. That's not keeping it real. As far as foes and enemies and all that, I really don't care. My only fear of death is coming back reincarnated. You know, I don't have no negative feelings towards nobody. It's not like I'm gonna get out and go shoot somebody up. You know what I mean?
Empress,
I know who shot
exactly.
me. I don't care about
exactly,
telling the police
Empress.
none of that. I don't care about none of that. You know what I mean? Whatever. I'm still here. You know what I mean? And it's not like I'm untouchable. I can be killed as soon as I get out of here. You know what I mean? But I go cool. I'm cool. You know what I mean? I go, you know, screaming West Side and I'm all good. You know what I mean? But what I want people to know is that don't support the phonies. Support the real. You know what I mean? How can these people be talking about how they so real and they don't care about our communities? How can they be talking about what they, all this, you know, the hood, blah, 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 blah. They don't care.
He getting ready to talk about the industry as we see it now. 25 years. I forgot, how long has Tupac been dead? How long has Tupac been dead? How long? Remember, you guys have to remember, this is a 25-year-old man. As he's speaking right now, he's 25. Not 35, 45. This is a 25-year-old man. A 25-year young man. 25-year-old young man. So he is giving you a look into the future to what we see now. He died in 98. How long does that make him been passed away? Give me the year of how long. It's so sad the way our community turned on each other for $1, but until that changes, we will never have nothing. We're going to start. He died in 96. Okay, so how many years? Y'all want me to add and subtraction here? I got the year he died, but how many years has he been dead? Has he been dead? This man is 25 years old. This is why I say I wanted to do him and DMX together. I know, Kendra, 96. Tell me about it. 96. This man would have been, all I know is he would have been 51. In June, he would have been 51, but as we speak, 25 years. Okay, thank you, Tony Touch. This man, he as of this point in time up in heaven, he is 50 years old. He's 50. How old did DMX die how old was DMX when he died? 50. Do them numbers ring up? Doesn't that sound really ironic to you? Doesn't that sound really ironic to you? So if he's been dead 25 years, 25 and 25 equal 50. How old is DMX? 50. You guys better start putting this shit together. You guys this is simple. They both are 50. Exactly. But that's why I said he would have been, he would have been 50. 71, he'd been 50. But if you still say he's 50, he still would have been 50 years old. DMX died at 50. He's been dead 25 years. 25 plus 25 equal 50. Get your math together. It's no coincidence. There is no coincidence. 25 years later, they take out the same type of spirit. They're two different people, but got the same type of spirit.
About our communities. You know what I mean? Listen to the words that people say in their lyrics. And
Listen.
tell me if that's some real, if that's real to you. You know what I mean? Listen to what they saying. Don't just bob your head to the beat. Peep
They
the game.
do.
And listen to what I'm saying and hold us accountable for it.
Isn't that what they do today? They just bob their head and don't listen to the lyrics that's being said. They just bob their head. That's what we do today. Isn't that what we doing today? Speak on it, Tupac. Speak on it. Your words still live today.
You know what I mean? And really, you know, whatever. If somebody else blow up and I fade out, that's just how it's supposed to be. That's fate. And I don't got no problems with that. I don't got no problems with nobody in the whole industry. I wish everybody success. It's enough loot for us all to make money. But I will say, I already took 5 bullets. And if I can help it, I don't plan on taking no more. You know what I mean? And I would tell each and every person out there, don't forget about that clicking up thing, you know what I mean? Be to yourself. Stay to yourself. Trust nobody. Trust nobody.
After dark.
You know what I mean? Straight up. My closest friends did me in. My closest friends, my homies, people who I done took care of their whole family. I done took care of everything for them, looked out for them, put them in the game, everything turned on me. Fear is stronger than love. Remember that. Fear is stronger than love. All the love I gave didn't mean nothing when it came to fear. So it's all good. But I'm a soldier. I always survive. I constantly come back. You know what I mean? Only thing that can kill me is death. That's the only thing that'll ever stop me is death. And even then, my music will live forever.
On October the 5th at Madison Square Garden, they're hosting a major benefit concert for AIDS, which will consist of all the major rappers in the music industry. I understand that it's for a good cause, and they hope to raise a lot of money from that. Is there anything that you want to say to the public about the concert and wishing them well, or a message to the youth about AIDS?
That's a big one. All I can say is people are resilient. We're very strong. There have been so many diseases and plagues that have come throughout history to try to
Corona.
stop us from continuing.
Corona.
We can't beat this.
Rona.
But we
Rona.
have to be smart.
Rona.
We have to be responsible. I mean, I don't know what the future can hold. It's not just about putting a condom on. We need to put a condom on every time. But, you know, it can happen anyway. So really, I wish them the most success in their program. I've heard they was attaching me to the project, which is no problem. You know, I wish them success with it. It shouldn't have took us so long to come forward, so I'm glad that somebody did. Us meaning the rap community, so I'm glad that somebody did. I heard Jodeci's doing a lot of good things with that. Proud of them. You know, they can really make a difference. And everybody involved, I hope we make a difference. As far as me, again, you know, AIDS is a killer. I hope we put on condoms. I hope we stop it. But some of us might not even make it to live to get killed by AIDS. That's straight up.
In conclusion, if we're fortunate in being granted permission to host a benefit concert here at the prison against youth violence with you and your friends in the entertainment industry, would you and your record company support this effort?
I don't know, I can't speak for my record company. I'm sure they would, especially if they can make a buck out of it. But not that they're greedy, but you know, it's business. You know what I mean? I'm sure we could do a video or something out of it. I would love to, you know, this prisoner gave me so much knowledge and it put me on such a right track that I would like to do a whole tour of prisons and youth centers and bring, you know, these rappers there, the hardcore rappers that they say don't give a hell about the community, and if we could come to them and do the concerts and speak one-on-one, I think that'd be cool. Because I met a lot of OGs in jail who've given me a lot of game, given me a lot of knowledge to move to the next level. I like to do the same thing. I think that's what we're supposed to be doing. So hopefully, you know, that'll be popping.
All right. Well, this concludes an exclusive prison interview with rap artist Tupac Shakur.
Can I say one thing before you end? A lot of people been giving me mad flack about this thug life thing. I just wanted to clear something up, you know. Thug life, I've been getting the blame for everything that thug life ever did. Everything, anybody can say thug life, and then it always comes back to me. I done had policemen get killed, and I get blamed for it, and you know, all type of violence, and I get blamed for it. And I want to say that, you know, I didn't create thug life. I diagnosed it, you know? Just like if a doctor says, this is the AIDS virus, he didn't make AIDS, he diagnosed it. You know what I mean? He won't be held responsible for every AIDS case. You know, if anything, he's bringing you information on maybe finding a cure. I felt as though that's the same thing I did for Thug Life. And in Vibe magazine, when I said Thug Life is dead, that does not mean that Thug Life is dead in the world. That just means that I have graduated to the next level, to be a player. Not a player of females, but a player of life. This game of life is a game, and you have to play it to the fullest. And I graduated, you know, I'm in college now, the college of life, you know? And I want my brothers to graduate too. I could easily just look down on you and go, them motherfuckers stupid, you know what I mean? I know something now they don't know, but that ain't me, that ain't never been me. When Thug Life was not out there and I was pumping it to you, I wanted you to know what it was like. And now I want you to know what the next level was like. So I had people telling me, you softened up, ain't nothing soft about me, ain't nothing changed. If anything, I feel like the other dudes is soft, because they out there fronting. They watching little kids get killed and they still talking it. You know what I mean? And it's cool to talk about it, to recognize it, but I mean, how many times can we say the same thing? You know what I mean? I know it's a way for us to get out the hood, but what do we run into? You know what I mean? Once we get out the hood, shit, they don't want us over there. You know what I mean? And also for the people out there, we need to start supporting not every black person that goes to jail or get into trouble, but the ones that you know didn't do it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I feel like people know I didn't do this. They saying right now, they still say Tupac Shakur, rape charge. I'm not convicted of no rape charge. I want to make that real clear. My charge was sexual abuse, forcibly touching the buttocks. That's what they charged me. I'm innocent of that, but that's what I'm in jail for. You understand? And
just like X, they found ways to put him in jail.
Taking away each and every person that steps forward to do anything positive for the community. So that's why you be wondering why everybody want to live a negative lifestyle. It's safer. And the community don't support us when we do step out and take bullets for y'all.
So can we look forward to some very positive?
If you notice the parallel, the police and the government or whatever was always after Pac and X. Anytime you go into central booking, and we're talking about central booking, and you're the only one that's there, that should tell you something. That should tell you something. Now, I'm going to end this with a young king. I wasn't too familiar with his music, but I still call him a young king. And I really fell in love with this young king we have here. But I got to spread some light on him because he also had a duality. He used to live that life too. And he changed his life also. I'm going to give it up for my young king right here.
You know what I mean?
To do mine, I done fine and I take my time check and take my tribe every level that I cross. a bed in the living room, a couch with a roll-out bed underneath it. You smelling coffee or like cooking. My granny was always cooking. My mom was always cooking. We used to live together. You see in a family house, you know what I mean? And you smelling food. My grandma and my mom was chefs. They cooked a lot.
What are we hearing? What's playing?
Man, you might be hearing The Price is Right. Granny had that on lock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or the radio. My mama played the radio a lot when she cleaned up. You know what I'm saying? So like a jazz station or like a R&B, classic R&B station. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Do you remember what your first like musical memories were?
I always was around music. I grew up in like the 90s really. Was born in 85. So it was Death Row in LA. You know, like outside, you didn't even have to have the CDs, you didn't have to buy it. You just went outside, you could hear it. I was 5 in 1990. You know what I'm saying? So that was what I heard. I was surrounded by rap music. And then I grew up around, you know, my mom, and then my sister's father was like a big record collector too, and like Motown stuff.
Do you remember at what point you were like, this is what I want to do?
Yeah, I think like, really like the Chronic album, when Snoop and Dre had that video, and Snoop was in the parking lot with Dre, and there was This and Easy. God bless Easy and rest in peace. I didn't even know that was a diss back then, but I forgot the name of the song. But yeah, that record, you know, I'm like, this is tight, you know what I'm saying? And they sound real familiar to me, you know what I'm saying? So that made me like, this the biggest rap out right now, and these niggas sound like, and the video look like outside. It was like, yeah, I could do that.
This didn't happen overnight. You've been putting in a lot of work.
Yeah.
Was there any point in your career where you thought about giving up?
Well, yeah, I think I'd done that before I got recognized. I quit and then went back to it, and then quit again, and then went back to it. I quit rapping and go back to like grinding and try to just focus all my energy on just getting money. And then I get to a level of being comfortable and still want to rap and be like, fuck it, I'm about to go book a studio or buy some equipment. And then fuck with it, and then get frustrated for a lot of reasons, whatever the learning curve of fucking with music was, whether it was like not having engineers, not having proper equipment, just going through that shit, get frustrated, say fuck this shit, go back to grinding. But I always came back to it too. I was just like, I must really love this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stop quitting. I'm just gonna say, whatever I go through, I'm gonna fuck with the music regardless. You know, so.
What was that thing that kept you coming back? Was it just the hunger to want to be heard, or what?
I don't know, I was like attracted to it. You know what I'm saying? I was just always, I ain't feel as fulfilled, you know what I'm saying, doing anything else as I did when I was making music. And then I was really inspired by music when I listened to other music. And I always was like, you know, I would have said this, you know what I mean? Or I would have done this record like this. This was a tight beat, but so I wanted to like try my hand at it, you know what I'm saying? And then when I did it, I heard myself making progress, like getting better. I was like, damn, you know, this I could do this for 20 years and still have 20 years of improvement to make. This is something you can't master. Nobody ever has mastered music. You know what I'm saying? And you can really dive deep into it and just uncover new shit, but not reach a ceiling. You know what I mean? And so that was like interesting to me.
Victory Lap. It's coming out.
Yeah, man. It's like a collection of life stories for real. That's like the focus is the narrative of the whole project. That's really the focus, is just the story that's being told. It's not like a beginning to end type of story. It's just a theme, you know what I mean, and represented in different real life scenarios that I put on song modes. But yeah, it's like a collection of my life stories and things that happen that make us being here really like special, you know, and just the uphill battle and just the details about what that was, you know.
What are some of the ones that kind of impacted the album the most? Can you share those with us?
Man, just like my brother burying 200,000 in the backyard, you know, and just being disciplined enough to have that cash and just say, I'm gonna bury him and start from zero again, and then starting from zero, grinding up, and then going back to dig it up, and then 100 and some change of that 200 was mildewed. And then us being in the living room with my mom with the blow dryer, and everybody blow drying money, and my brother having a breakdown. Not literally, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, what the fuck? And going through that and seeing like, damn, niggas took $100-some-thousand loss off mildew and like had it on the kitchen table and the living room table throughout the whole house, stinking up the house with the blow dryer trying to, salvage the money. And like to put that into one of the songs, you know what I'm saying? And revisit that from this point right here. Right. And just like other things too, I don't want to go overboard and get too many of the details, but just like real stories that took place and things that we reflect on internally and just be like, man, moments we thought it was a wrap, like this is it, it's over, you know what I'm saying? We fucked up, we made a critical mistake and, bouncing back and getting through it and coming into other challenges. And then, from a point of like your first album's about to drop, you in a successful position business-wise, and then to think about put yourself back in them emotions and feel that again. You know what I'm saying? Knowing now we know everything gonna be all right. We didn't right then, but now thinking about it, it's like 2020. So to write about it was therapeutic and like I thought that was important to be represented on my first album.
I know one of the tracks that stood out yesterday was Blue Laces 2.
Yeah.
I know the third verse.
Yeah.
You stopped it and you want to make sure everybody put a close ear to what you were saying.
Exactly.
Could you lend us into why that verse is important to you?
Yeah, again, it's another real story that happened. And sometime to like be in a luxury car or like a penthouse or like a, first class flight or, in a bomb-ass hotel somewhere and just remember, like, man, the complete opposite, being on the run from the police or like driving your homie to the hospital bleeding. Just thinking about, the struggle, really, and just the journey and what we went through in the process of trying to get here and represent that in the music. Blue Laces 1 is one of my favorite records, one of my fans' most cherished records, I think, that I've put out. So I wanted to like revisit the record for the album. And it just happened naturally. I didn't intend on speaking on that specific story. That's just what I heard when I heard the beat.
Braun premiered the Blue Laces 2 track on the socials. IT also shows you a lot of love.
Yeah.
Do you feel that your music inspires athletes to train because there is that hustler, the go get it, the grind mode? Do you feel like a lot of athletes come to you and talk to you about like feeling inspired by the music to give them that extra fuel?
I've noticed that specifically athletes react to the message, and then also I think like they come from the same environment, they going through the same struggle, they just attacking it through their gifts on the court or on the field, and we doing it through the art and through the music. So I think that whether it's the message of motivation or just if they apply it to sports or if they apply it to just the pursuit of like becoming better and like, bossing up and being, successful and like maximizing your potential, you know what I'm saying? And like challenging yourself. I think those themes is in the music and in the message, like the marathon. But I have noticed that like, athletes specifically, reacting or inspired. And likewise, we sit in the studio and had a playoffs on mute and go back and watch classic performances. You know what I'm saying? And just be like, look at the zone they was in. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, I think we both feed off each other.
It's crazy that a player like IT, who to me has got like, he's all heart. He's one of the shortest guys in the NBA, but he's all heart. It's crazy that he would be the one relating to the underdog.
Man,
struggle.
I've been knowing IT since he was in college, man. When I used to go to Seattle, he used to come to the shows in Tacoma with Nate Robinson. And that was early supporters, from like the first marathon mixtape. So to see him make his.
Just putting down has been K-Dot.
Yeah.
He was on Twitter and, he gave you, a salute for that.
Yeah. But definitely I seen that tweet. And, again, man, I've been knowing Dot since the LAX tour with Game. You know what I'm saying? And that's another man, just like I think it's really a clear expression of what I was trying to say on the album and just as an artist and just what I went through and what I experienced and just like, it took dedication. That's the best word. You know what I mean? And I think that's the best piece of advice I can give anybody is to be dedicated. Yeah, that record came out, it happened naturally the way it got wrote. It's just speaking to the approaches, you know what I'm saying, get tried, everybody gonna realize it's about the music.
We're almost finished, guys. We're almost finished.
What level the music vibrate on.
Something that you talk a lot about in your rhymes is owning your rhymes,
Right.
owning your masters.
Right. Yeah, especially, I mean, streaming right now is more important than ever. Just because, like, you know, it's a lot of money in streaming. And especially when you drop a popular project or a big song, if you get the back end of that, you know, that's real money. The value of the song over the lifetime of the song is hard to even calculate. You know what I'm saying? When the records is successful and or even just viral and they trending on the mixtape level, that the streaming turns over. So if you can, stay in control, you know, of your masters as long as you can, because you will love to have a catalog. That's the best thing I had, is that, you know, I got a catalog of music that, you know, is streamed every month. And you know what I mean? We involved in that. So I got to see it from that level. When everybody's complaining about streaming, I'm like, you know, I don't understand that. Because, you know, I see it from a level of like a business whose product stream. And from that perspective, it looked good. If I was just a business and the product I was streaming was a different artist, the artist might feel different than I feel, because he's seeing the streaming from whatever his agreement with the company is. But the actual pot is a nice pot.
Right. They're just not getting a big chunk of that pot.
Yeah, and you know, that's all based on how they negotiate it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's a nice pot. So to own the masters is very critical, you know, if you can. You know, when you, as what's being said in rap music. So, you know, it's a line between preaching and just keeping it
I just want to say, for the guys who's watching this, please remember what all three of them have in common. They all was going independent. Soon as Tupac renegotiated his contract, he was gone, because he's the first one. Nipsey Hussle, soon as he signed with the label and got a contract, gone. We don't see him. Soon as DMX renegotiated a contract with Def Jam, gone. We don't see them. You see, do you understand the pattern that is going on? It's a pattern. These three guys is three powerful individuals, the people of all different levels, respect them. Of all different statuses, respect him. That is true, Anna Banana. But after all of them signed the contract, boop. And do you notice, right before all of them transcended, do you notice we see more of them in a lot of interviews? Like, we've never seen DMX in so many interviews ever. Now that we have seen DMX in more interviews now, right before his passing away, than we ever seen him. Prince also, soon as he signed back to Warner Brothers, poof, we didn't see him no more. We didn't see him anymore. We don't see them no more. And these are all, even the ones that you guys are naming, them some powerful people. But why I say these three in particular, because they come from the gutter. DMX come from that gutter. X come from that, X and DMX same person. X come from that gutter. Tupac's come from that gutter. Tupac his mama spent more time with him in her belly in jail than out of jail. That gutter. This young man right here, Nipsey Hussle is from that gutter. And just like Tupac said, everybody talk about that messed up concrete, but nobody don't talk about that beautiful rose that grew out of the concrete. These are the roses that grew out of that concrete. Okay, Mika?
A thousand and being thorough. And so, yeah, I was just tipping my hat to something I think is thorough.
What do you think are the keys to building wealth?
Man, I think that it's a formula, and then it's also some things that's intangible. To own something is very important. To understand investment, you know, to understand living within your means or under your means, you know, to understand how to make something, you know. I think that's what's been critical for me, is I make something. I take something from zero and I make it, which is music, and that's a very powerful tool to be able to like come into a room and create something out of nothing. And so that's worked for me. But then there's people that, you know, master that part of the game but consume so fast that it's hard to even get ahead. So it's a combination of things, and I ain't the poster boy for it, but at the end of the day, that's the direction we walking toward, is becoming wealthy to the level that it's not gonna go away. And that, you know, we create a situation that it lasts longer than us.
I've always feel like one of the things I admire about you the most is you're always very forward thinking.
Right.
You were on a panel at Complex Con. What are some of the takeaways that you would want people to know about like digital currency? Or?
It's a way to think about money. It was 3 or 4 different perspectives. I was one of them. And the convo was just about what is money in 2017 going into 18. You know, is it paper? You know, is it agreed value? What makes something currency? You know, so that was what the debate was, and everybody was revolving around that as a question. But just cryptocurrency is, I think it's like a form of karma. I think that the banks has such a crooked model that the engineers and software designers and programmers was like, we're not gonna fix this with a protest. We're not gonna fix this with a march on Wall Street. We're gonna fix this with technology. And they created a equalizer that just, it checkmated the whole game. You know, that's my view on it. It's just.
You heard what he said? Cryptocurrency is a form of karma. It's not real, guys. It's not real. He's dropping jewels on you. He's dropping jewels.
It's like the energy balancing out what went wrong over there, and just the disadvantage that the people were at. The cryptocurrency is balancing that out, or will in the long run. It's gonna take a while, but it's gonna create an option, and you're not gonna have to go operate in that system that led to like 2008, all the banks collapsing and the real estate bubble and all the malpractice of power that, you know, was happening in the banking industry and the central banks and all that. So it's like, damn, that was slick. Whoever came up with that was slick. If you really peep it from a political point of view,
For sure.
you know what I mean? That was real effortless checkmate. You know what I mean? They exited before anybody knew what was up.
And they still got bailed out.
You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy. It's interesting conversation. I've had it with some people, and you know, some people are like stuck on money so much, and I'm like, man, money's not even backed by the gold system anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like, what is it really worth? It's whatever we, you know, want to put on it, but really it's just a piece of paper. You know, just like a credit card, just a piece of plastic, and it's the inferred value that we put on it. And as long as everybody assumes that it's worth that, it is. But if somebody tomorrow's like, that's not worth shit, it's really not backed by anything. So it's like, why not try out a new currency?
It's a lot of reasons that, you know, political reasons why it's a big thing, and it's financial reasons why it's a big thing, you know, and even like on a simple level of like sending money overseas or something, to be able to do that peer to peer and not have no middleman with a fee, and with a policy, it's just a direct transaction that's, you know, regulated by a public ledger. That's a big innovation if you understand like banking and PayPal and all that type of shit. You know, somebody told me that it's like what the internet was in like the early 90s. and think about what that turned into and all the billion-dollar businesses that was built off of that. That's like what the cryptocurrency, blockchain opportunity is similar to. So it'll take a while before we see it mature and really turn into what it can potentially be.
Right, and you're not just talking about it, you actually invested in the company.
Yeah, definitely. Follow coin. It's a coin, and it's also it's a utility. You know, and I spoke about it and everything.
Yeah, there's a dope documentary on YouTube about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's get back to the album real quick. You got Puff on some ad-libs.
Yeah.
Why was that important to you?
You know, I think what Puff represent is like elevated taste, like in terms of like hip hop, like, you know what I mean, from like fashion to music to like business, you know what I mean? Puff taste was always like premier. And so, you know, I just was like, it'd be dope. And Puff just known for putting swag on a dope rap record. You know what I'm saying? And so I just wanted to play the album for him. You know what I'm saying? I went by the house and played the album, and that was the one he fucked with the most. And so I had it in mind for him to get on Rap Niggas, you know what I'm saying, and get in the video with the Mink on. But he liked the other record, so he did that one, and it was dope. That was a crazy session.
You could feel the energy.
Yeah.
Seeing from outside what you're trying to build with the store and with like the project that you got going on in LA and like all that stuff, I'm like, okay, I see the dynasty that he's building. So I was like, maybe, you know, Puff being on the record also means something to him in terms of...
Yeah, definitely. It's the record called Young Niggas, and if you hear it, you know, the people hear it, and I think they'll make the connection to why Puff makes sense on that record. But yeah, for sure, Puff ran a marathon in real life. You know what I mean? I got Puff on the last song on TMC. You know what I mean? A clip of him in a documentary, and he represent the self-made, you know what I mean, street mogul, you know what I'm saying, that came up through hip hop, you know what I'm saying. So I got lyrics where I reference Puff grind. So yeah, we always aspired to do what Puff did, you know what I'm saying, what Jay and them did, and what Snoop and Dre and them did, you know. So yeah, definitely one of the blueprints for sure.
Pull up in motorcades. I gotta show.
I'm a fan, play this one, you know. So that's why I was just like, and then on the album, if you want to just skip to one song, you could play that one.
I wouldn't recommend skipping it because there's definitely a lot of gems.
No, I'm saying if you want to skip to one and just go, oh, you said yeah. You know, shit.
I'm appreciating the whole body of work.
I got you.
You posted on Twitter, to be overwhelmed and ask what I've got myself into is always a reminder that I'm demanding more from myself than I ever have.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us some insight into what was going through your mind and what does that mean to you?
Just being like pressure, like overwhelmed. You know what I'm saying? Like mentally exhausted, and you still got a lot of shit to think about and to like make decisions on and like do. You know what I'm saying? But you know, a lot of times, even when you work out, your brain, your body's a lot stronger than your brain sometimes. And you gotta catch your brain up. Your muscles will be ready to keep going. Your brain will have its limit. You know what I'm saying? And be like, I can't do no more. And your body will follow suit. But when you can break the mental barriers, you'll notice, damn, I could do way more. I was crazy. You know what I'm saying? I had way more in me. So I think that's an example of like feeling like you can't, like you're exhausted.
Yep,
You about to,
y'all
you know,
100% right in this chat. Go
overwhelmed,
ahead.
and then being clear that, you know, this is how I feel to be pushing yourself more than you ever had, demanding more. You know, that's just the natural way it feels. When you press your line and press yourself to produce more and to be better, you know what I'm saying?
Where do you go to when you feel that way? When you're burned out and you're like, I need that extra energy. Like, is there a particular thing that you do or something that kind of like gives you that extra fuel?
Man, man, for real, I don't know, bro. Like, you gotta tap in mentally to different places, you know what I mean? But I just, you know, I might leave and come back. Sometime I'll just come back. I'll get my energy straight and come back, you know what I'm saying? That's probably my secret. I always come back, you know what I mean? more than anything. If he just today ain't today, and you know you want to get it done, but it's not getting done, you just come back. You know what I'm saying? Might leave for an hour and come back.
Right.
You know what I mean? But sometimes that's all it takes. You just gotta like take the pressure off you thinking about the shit. I'm just thinking in terms of making a song, being in the studio under that pressure of like creating. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think it's no one way to do it. You can smoke some weed. Sometimes niggas smoke weed. Sometimes, you know what I mean? You go watch a movie, do a whole lot of things to try to just stimulate inspiration. You know, people do all type of shit, you know what I'm saying, to stimulate inspiration. But, you know, the key is to just keep going at it. You know what I mean? To trick yourself into being productive, but that shit ended up working, you know?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, I read 10 Habits of Highly Effective People or some shit. That was definitely one of them. Sometimes
Yeah.
you just gotta walk around the room, come back and sit down. That's
Yeah.
enough to just be
Working
like,
out, doing push-ups, all type of crazy shit just because, you know, it's like grinding. Like you used to have to sit outside all day. You know what I mean? And it wouldn't be no sales coming through, it'd be dry. But the whole exercise was to sit outside the whole day, through all the changes. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll learn the pattern. Oh, it's a morning rush, it get dry, it's slow. You gonna be uninspired around 2 o'clock probably. You know what I'm saying? Most likely you're gonna lose all your creativity around this time. If you start at this time, you're gonna run dry. You know what I'm saying? And just learning the you know what I'm saying, the pattern of what's going on by just not leaving. And then you gain a deeper understanding. And it's an advantage, you know what I mean? So the same with the music, you know?
Look, Reagan sold coke, Obama sold hope, Donald Trump spent his trust fund money.
Us doing our job as artists. If y'all, any DJs feel away, y'all should protest by, you know, supporting the records that this message is being touched on. That have been touched on, but just based on we got a platform, it was on us to, I think, touch on that too. In a Fuck Donald Trump record, you know what I'm saying? That's one of the main messages that was like, you crazy, bro, you going a little too. Certain number, dollar amount, the value of your company is based on users times this dollar amount. And so when you got 10 million followers on Twitter, the value of Twitter is a certain dollar amount times your 10 million users, plus the other 10 million, plus the other 2 million, plus the other. So when Twitter goes to get evaluated at so-and-so billion, the model is an eyeball monetization, attention monetization model. And who's the reason that they are paying attention? The celebrity, the artist, you know what I'm saying? But for us, it's like a marketing tool to stay in contact with your fans. Yeah, that's cool, but to y'all in a whole different business. Y'all in a advertisement attention model. And it's you know, you leveraging all of these followers for the day you sell your company. So we are very valuable in the tech world, you know what I'm saying? Because we have influence. And these is attention models and advertisement models, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? That's one of the ways.
For sure. I think it's important for our community to realize our power in that. It's like all these brands want to pay us money to sell their brands. It's like, we need to use that to sell our own.
Sell your own brand.
Same way Puff selling vodka. And you know what I mean? Jay selling Ace of Spades. And we got to go into tech and sell something too. You know what I mean? That we own. So, you know, I think that it's coming. I think, you know, Dr. Dre was one of the first ones in that space with the streaming service that turned into Apple Music.
I just like to say it's so many more videos. There's so many more videos. I just can't show it because that'd be copy. I don't feel like getting copyrighted. These are lower level. Hopefully I still don't get copyrighted, but y'all just don't understand the mindset of this man, Nipsey Hussle. Y'all don't understand all the things that he was doing. If he was able to make it, us black folks would have been elevated. From what Pac was saying, Nipsey was living. From what Pac was saying, Nipsey was living. I don't see how y'all don't see how them three people, them three individuals do not go together. They go together. He had his clothes where the tag of the clothes was a code. It was a code. If anybody know anything about Nipsey Hussle, and you could download music after you purchase his audit, purchase his clothes from his store. You could take the tag from the clothes and download music by putting it in the bar scan. He was in so much tech stuff, it was unbelievable. So I have no idea. Every time we come up with these great ideas, every time we come up with these great ideas, they shoot us down. They shoot us down. They want us stuck to the industry. They want us stuck to the industry. But if you're an old school rap artist, as we was talking about yesterday, that's not what hip hop was about. That's not what we were not meant to be held on, held to, or depend on an industry. That's why we created our own lane. Every time we create our own lane, they get us. They get us. If they don't get us, we get us. If they don't get us, we get us. But I'm going to thank you guys for this little duality of three men who started from the gutter and fought their way out of it. I wanted to show you what they all have in common. Yes, we have all seen the other side. We have heard about DMX going to jail, him impersonating himself as a cop. We heard all the madness that Tupac done got into, all the things he said. What? This is the other side. No, they are old rappers. Big Daddy Kane's still doing his thing. Um, Matter of fact, Kumo D is still doing his thing. Grandmaster Cass is still doing their thing. They just doing it they still doing it far as doing Grandmaster Flash too. Melly Mel also. They just doing theirs in the form of concert. There is still a need for them because long as people in my age bracket is still living, it's still a need for them. We still want to see them. We still want to go back to our childhood. So in order for us to go back to our childhood, we will go to their concerts. So they good because we still living. We are still living. So long as we live, they live. But I'm glad you guys was here. I'm glad all my real subscribers that stuck in here to see these great people. Hopefully you learned something from them or about their life. But I will see you guys later. I am out of here. Peace. Maybe their contracts was different. Even regardless of what their contracts was, it still took them out. It still took them out. It still took them out. But again, I'm out of here. I took enough of you guys' time. And remember, I know we have to remember, Roxanne Shante is not DMX sister. And if you're going to show, I don't know who wrote that in their title, but that's not his sister. They wasn't cool. They probably knew of each other, But she was just heartbroken. I'm so heartbroken from all of this we have to go through. Thank you, Miss Tony. You are more than welcome. You are more than welcome. I keep telling you, this is not a Nature Boys channel. This is a everything's channel. This is a everything channel. Everything will be on this channel. But I have to get up on out of here. I see you guys later. Peace.